Hello, salutations, what it do? What's up, llama dude? Are you hyped yet? Are you excited? You should be. Less than 30 minutes to go. What's up, Parker? What's up, Digital? What's up, Wyatt? What's up, Iron Star? New Defender. What's up? Thank you for the support. Excited. Waters. I'm so ready. Hype train. What's up, Flossie? What's up, Jordan? I was like, everybody else is starting early. Let me just get on this because I'm just sitting around at this point. Good. Breeze, what's up? Tamaric, you're so excited. I am excited. Does New Zealand get it? I don't think so. I know the time zone is weird. I think there's like a universal time that Crystal Dynamics launches their updates. Countryman, you're signing. You say, what's up? What's up? Bring the whole family in. What's up, Trey Howard? How's everybody doing on this most holy of days, Black Panther Day? Pretty much Black Panther week. Do I think they'll tease anything beyond War for Wakanda? I don't, but they might. I think they're going to do it this week, just not today. In a library school, nice. That is what libraries are good for. Streaming on the internet. Wakanda forever, right? Defenders, spam your Wakanda forever emotes. I'll be watching both streams at the same time. I appreciate it. So I think the update tomorrow will be 30 gigs. If I was a betting man, I would take the over. Omani, I'm doing okay. How are you? Wakanda forever. What's up, Savannah? How's everybody doing? Because this chat is way more helpful than the Play Avengers one. That is true. And I don't think there will be any questions today that they're going to be answering in the chat, at least. I think this is more going to be a presentation, because usually the war tables are like 10 minutes pre-recorded, but they're turning this into a 2-hour stream, so won't get the same interaction. Oh, that's what this chat's for. Tony Stark forever. Hope you got an extra hard drive. I'm on PS5. I'm fine. I just delete stuff when I'm not using it. What's up, shooting boy? The hype for Drip Panther is real. Yes, it is. We don't have a release time, but usually updates release around 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time when they do DLCs. Think they'll delay the war table start time? I don't know. Sounds like they're going to start on time. Greg Miller was just posting. He said they're setting everything up and everything seems to be a go. Do I have Cold War? No, I do not play nonsense like Call of Duty. Are the cast interviews? Yes, there will be interviews today as well. Sandra Saad and someone else that is not Sandra Saad will be doing interviews. You can finally leave your house tomorrow. Oh, nice. I will not be leaving my house tomorrow. For sure. think he'll have some of the best skills. From what I've seen of them in action, like I knew what they were. I just hadn't seen them in action until this week. They look really good. What I'm reading, it sounds like Black Panther could be very powerful. What's up, Zacer? Can you stack the consumables? No. So there's a server side boost to XP going on right now for the entire month of August. You get double XP on all your characters. That's server side. That's from them, and you can stack your consumable with that. So you can use your consumable to get a 1.5 times boost on top of the 2 times boost you're already getting, to give you about 3.5 times XP. But you can't stack the consumables together. You can only activate one at a time. I'll be a walking L after Paul Tassi. Yo, Paul Tassi with the straight up nuke on Twitter. If y'all, I don't know if y'all saw it. Kyle was trying to dunk on Avengers on Paul Tassi's mention and Paul Tassi's comments, and Paul Tassi was having none of it. You took off work? Yeah, I've seen a lot of people taking off work for this BP. And would they get PS Plus? Yeah, I'd say it's worth it, especially if you're on PS5. What's up, sweet? Looks like Iron Man won't be dominating marketplace anymore. No, his reign is over. It's all about Drip Panther now. What's up, Ronald? He has the shuriken. He has the knives, and he has the Komoyo beads, which is his assault, which is his support heroic, which he throws. You think they may show a new character? Yes, Black Panther. That is the new character they're gonna show. What's up, Joey? I'm doing well, doing well. DP's combos look kind of cool. Yeah, the stuff I'm seeing, you can string together some crazy stuff. Wait, Paul Tassi roasted Kyle? He sure did. He nuked him from orbit. It was crazy. Black Panther comes out whenever they push the DLC, which is usually at 11 a.m. Is it you, or does it seem like it takes longer for Captain America and Black Widow to get XP? No, haven't noticed anything. I was doing the XP farm with Black Widow a couple weeks ago. Seemed fine. A Punisher, it's good technique. Between Paul and Kyle. Paul Tassi wrote a new article saying that essentially War for Wakanda is make or break for Marvel's Avengers, and Kyle basically trolled and said, oh, he didn't think a game could get, he didn't think the game could get any more broken or something. And Paul's like, bro, why is literally your entire life dedicated to hating on this game? He did not have a good answer. We better get the dude when Spider-Man drops. Oh yeah. What's up, Shannon? Happy Monday to you. Usually Mondays aren't great, but this whole week is going to be exceptional. It'd be cool if we could watch the war table in game in the cinema room or something. Yeah, they ain't that fancy. This ain't Fortnite. The blessings of Mighty Bass are soon to be flawless. Wakanda forever. Wakanda forever. Do you think they might do Black Panther MCU skin sometime this month? Definitely this month. Look, probably this week. Whatever happened to our Spider-Man exclusive character for Sony, it's coming out at the end of the year. You cannot stack the XP boosters, no. One consumable at a time. Okay, you ready to go to Wakanda? I'm very ready. Dude, I am very ready. What did it do, Garrett? Do you think they will add at least one feature that hasn't been talked about? Several. The biggest one I'm banking on is the horde mode, which Miller leaked a couple months ago. Hoping that is a thing. No need to fear, citizens, because that's our mod of Thunder Tyversal is in the building. Everyone be on your best behavior. It is 12:44 my time. The war table starts at 1 o'clock. Mod of Thunder in the building. Thank you all for tuning in. Kindly tap that like button. The more people like this video, the more people YouTube shows it to. The more people YouTube shows it to, the more people get to enjoy this Wakanda experience with us all. Also subscribe if you are new. Once we hit 4K subs, we're currently less than 200 away. If we hit 4K subs today or tomorrow, I will be doing a giveaway. I will be giving some of you some money, which you can put towards the marketplace. Buy yourself that Captain America skin, some Black Panther skins, whatever it is you're looking for. At 5K subs, our mod of Thunder Tyversal will eat crickets. At 10K subs, I will give somebody a PS5. So definitely subscribe. We can all win. Will they have some Hulk changes? I don't know if there will be changes to Hulk in the update, but they will not be talking about any other character in this game today except for Black Panther. T-Hawk will probably be announced when they do the next roadmap. Give me PS5. I do have that PS5 plug. If we hit 10K subs this year, one of you guys are getting the PS5. What time is it coming out tomorrow? No official time was given, but all of their DLCs come out at around 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Making 6K accounts to win that PS5 for yourself. Have you seen his leaf skin? I did. It looks very clean. Glad they are focusing on Black Panther and not talking about Spider-Man, because it's about Black Panther. It's his time to shine. Do I know if they plan on the crossplay? This year, definitely not. Crossplay is a tricky issue because part of the problem with crossplay is that Sony is incredibly greedy and they do not like people having crossplay without giving them money. So that's kind of messing everyone up. Also, they did not design the game for crossplay, so that's another technical hurdle they would have to overcome. Ooh. Matter of fact, let me just put this up real quick on the screen. For those that want to see that leak. Seems what happened was they put an ad for Black Panther up live. So that is the new Black Panther skin. We talk about how much crap Superhero puts out. Lejeune actually put it out there on Twitter. It's not a big deal to me. I think it's just funny. My fan of Greg Miller. He's cool. For a giveaway, you'll wonder if it will work only for PS4 players as you're on PS5 or also on Xbox. The giveaway will be, as long as you don't have a PS5, I will make sure that you get it. I'm not going to give away an Xbox because Xbox sucks. This skin is clean though. Yo, Black Panther is just destroying everybody. it's like they put all their resources into making sure all his skins are just gas. Remember when we were roasting Evan? Yes, I remember when the chat was misbehaving when Evan was on trying to tell his story. Y'all kept making fun of his head. Shame on you all. What about his endgame skin? His MCU skin has not been revealed yet. Great content, continue success with your channel. Thank you, George. That really how you feel about Xbox? Yes, Xbox sucks. You already know if you know what it is, because then you can't do the LT. About 10 minutes. Yep, about 10 minutes away. Just wanted to show you guys that new Black Panther. It is beautiful. Kate definitely could use some something new. What's up, Mr. Wavy? Still 10 minutes away from launch, so you haven't missed the official stream yet. We're just showing the new Black Panther skin. You think Xbox is better? That's adorable. How I feel about Nintendo? They still make those? You feel you feel PlayStation sucks, so now we're even. Y'all ain't even in sales, my guy. Numbers don't lie, my guy. y'all we definitely ain't even. Check the numbers. Just wait for a week, then CD just gonna release some recolors. Oh, I'm sure they eventually, but so far they're just putting their best foot forward. Do I think Spider-Man may be revealed? Nope. Numbers don't lie. Facts. Not another console war. I think the console war is funny because it's not even a war. It's just PlayStation being better and people yelling about it for some reason. I don't get why we can't all just get along. If you like Xbox, play Xbox. If you like superior games and a superior system, play PlayStation. It's not that complicated. Why does it have to be, why does it have to be a war? If numbers don't lie, you must like Justin Bieber because he has high numbers. Exactly. Justin Bieber is awesome. Justin Bieber is that guy. He did a song with Usher. PC players think they're higher than everyone else. They definitely do. You moved from Xbox to PlayStation because of Marvel's Avengers. Kind of sad their marketing worked on you. It is what it is. We get this out of here so I don't miss the start time. We about to be lit. They starting on time, guys. If you don't realize that I'm trolling Xbox players, then you must be an Xbox player. Did I get the streamer pack they released? I did, but I haven't used it yet because the only thing I wanted was the stream starting soon thing, and I already made it myself. So I didn't actually need it. I just downloaded it just because. By the way, make sure if you haven't already, don't do your mega hive. It resets today. Don't do your mega hive for today. And if you haven't done your weekly priority mission, don't do that either, because you want to save it for Black Panther. So when Tuesday, you want to level up Black Panther to 130, and then build them up a little more so you can do the mega hive, or get somebody to carry you and do your priority mission. That way you get your exotics for the mega hive, you get your exotics from the priority mission, and then on Thursday it resets and you'll get another exotic for BP for the priority and another exotic for BP for the mega hive. Got some epic music going on. Can you explain how the reset works? Yeah. At 1 p.m. Eastern, they reset. So all the missions that are time gated once per day are reset. So the villain sectors, after you complete them, they disappear, and new villain sectors pop up at reset. That's also when they add skins to the marketplace on Thursday. Silver Surfer win? Not anytime soon. How does this work? It works like today is the war table where they talk about Black Panther. Tomorrow is War for Wakanda when Black Panther comes out. You're asking about the OLT priority mega hive reset change. It's the same thing. The only thing that's different is on Saturday, just the mega hive and the omega level threat reset. So if you didn't do the mega hive on Thursday, on Saturday it resets. So you're going to miss out on, you're only going to be able to do 2 mega hives instead of 3. If you did the mega hive on Thursday, then on Saturday you get to do it again, and again on Monday. Same with the omega level threat. So I think we'll get the MCU skin, not today. Look out for the MCU Black Panther reveal later in the week. Think they'll add mutant characters? I don't know. They're not in the files, so who knows? Do I think they're going to drop some skins tomorrow? Yeah, they're dropping MCU Captain America tomorrow from the first Avengers movie. You'll forgive them if they add Silver Surfer. Well, I just want Doctor Strange. I'm a simple man. Once again, kindly hit that like button, subscribe, join if you want to become a defender, get access to these emotes, early access to videos, member exclusive content, and a link to the private Discord. I'm hyped. They even got the music. What am I planning to do? I'm going to play the entire story, and then the grind begins. Starts in 1 minute and 45 seconds. What major artifact am I going to use for him? I'm going to start out with the ring. That's usually what I have a feeling Black Panther's heroics are going to be really good. And since he's going to be a melee, at least how I'm going to build him, I'm going to be doing a lot of takedowns. So I want to do everything I can to keep those heroics going. Spam your Wakanda emotes. Spam your Wakanda emotes. Let's go. Wakanda forever.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to Marvel's Avengers
my bass
War
Sandra.
Table for Wakanda. I am one of your hosts, Greg Miller, alongside Ms. Marvel herself, Sandra Saad. Hello, Sandra.
Yes, hello, that's me. Hello, Greg. How are you?
How excited are you?
I'm very excited. I'm very excited to be back here with the fans and be with you, someone who knows so much about video games.
Yeah, well, you can say that about video
Yes,
games, sure, but I do know a lot about Marvel's Avengers, ladies and gentlemen.
True.
I, much like all of you, have been playing nonstop for the past year, loving it, wanting more from it, a whole bunch of different things. But we are finally here on the precipice tomorrow. War for Wakanda, the free expansion for Marvel's Avengers.
Streaming the best behavior for Sandra. Yes, we are.
And today, for the next 3 hours, Sandra and I will be here interviewing the developers, interviewing the actors, showing new gameplay, and of course kicking it all off with a war table right now. All about it. Sandra, as we get ready to do this, why are you excited for War for Wakanda?
Because Black Panther rocks.
Ronald, thank you for the $4.99.
That is the correct answer.
Appreciate you, bro.
We are live on Twitch. We are live on YouTube. We were looking
at
your chat.
Miller.
I have things from the Reddit. We are all set to go. But before we kick this off and start the War for Wakanda expansion live here on all of your live streaming platforms,
respectfully,
let's begin right now with the War for Wakanda War Table. Kevin, roll it.
Respectfully. Respectfully, Sandra is bad. She a baddie. Let's go.
My father came to your beautiful country when I was a child. He had heard about the mythical vibranium. But the Black Panther said they had no vibranium to give. He slit my father's throat. That Panther is dead. So you will have to do. You and your people.
Oh.
You finally agreed to accept help, and it is from outside us. That is not like
you. Yeah.
I am not accepting help. I am giving it.
Then let me send teams to the corrupted sites. Take the Dora Milaje with you. Do something other than driving yourself headfirst into danger.
I am not just a king on a throne. I am the Black Panther.
Then show us you can be both.
I will. Finish the job, boys.
They are attacking the shield around Peninsula.
That sucks. I'm watching it in 1080p.
Increase your spiritual side.
60.
Got a couple toys just for you, Panther.
Here they come.
With me.
Shoot it. We need to attack.
Yo, this is fire.
Welcome to the War Table for Wakanda, a walkthrough of the new expansion starring Black Panther, coming to Marvel's Avengers tomorrow at no additional cost. War for Wakanda is an exciting new release that aims at refreshing the Marvel's Avengers experience and is the largest and most ambitious expansion since launch. We're excited to welcome Black Panther to Marvel's Avengers, and today we're going to share details with you about the story campaign, new gameplay, enemies, and more. And of course, we couldn't bring the king to Avengers without also bringing his kingdom, so we'll be unveiling some new details and footage of Wakanda as well. To ensure our War for Wakanda story does justice to such an important hero, our narrative team enlisted the help of well-known writer and Black Panther expert Evan Narcisse, author of The Rise of the Black Panther Marvel Comics.
Be on your best behavior, guys.
From the very first meeting the team had with Evan, they felt a special magic and are really proud of the work they've done to craft an original story and bring Black Panther to life. Together, they threw themselves into the challenge of both respecting and celebrating existing Black Panther stories and bringing the culture of Wakanda to life. Here's Evan to tell you more about himself.
Hi everybody, it's Evan Narcissus. I'm here, of course, to talk about the War for Wakanda expansion for Marvel's Avengers.
Do not talk about his head.
When we were working on the War for Wakanda story, the narrative team and I drew inspiration from so many different story arcs in the comics, dating back to the Black Panther storylines such as Who is the Black Panther by Reginald Hudlin and John Romita Jr., and A Nation Under Our Feet by Ta-Nehisi Coates and Brian Stelfreeze. So these stories were, of course, so important to how we thought about our version of the Black Panther. When we were working on the narrative for War for Wakanda,
this looks incredible.
It was essential for us to tell a Wakandan story, even though it takes place in the Avengers universe. And of course, Wakanda is its own sovereign African nation. It's also the most advanced civilization on Earth. Its technological achievement is fueled by vibranium, a precious material found only in a meteor that crashed on Earth centuries ago. The kingdom is ruled by King T'Challa, the Black Panther. And in War for Wakanda, T'Challa faces a massive invasion unlike anything the country has ever faced before. T'Challa is a man who lives many roles. He's a king, he's a leader of an entire nation, and he's a brother. And this invasion will test him in all of those roles. It's going to be really difficult for him to figure out who he is and what he needs to be for Wakanda to be safe. This invasion is led by Ulysses Klaue, a rogue scientist with a dark secret and a darker grudge. Klaue's assembled an army of mercenaries, all of them equipped with deadly sonic technology and large spider-like mechs that he unleashes into the Wakandan jungle. Klaue's being bankrolled by one of the world's most sinister organizations. He uses all that money and all those resources to plant sonic fracking towers all over Wakanda so he can extract vibranium from the soil. This is a devastating process that corrupts the vibranium and creates clusters of deadly poisonous shards that show up all over the world. This, of course, is how the Avengers get involved in the War for Wakanda. After the 8-Day disaster, Wakanda closed its borders and cut off all communication with the outside world. After the dangerous corrupted vibranium starts to appear all over the globe, the Avengers travel to Wakanda to offer their help to King T'Challa. Another important character showing up in the expansion is Okoye. She's the captain of the Dora Milaje, an elite fighting force that answers only to the king. She's also kind of the voice of truth for T'Challa, which means she tells the king stuff that everybody else is afraid to even voice. Along with Okoye, we've got Zavavari. He's a mystic who has this really tense, fraught relationship with the royal family. T'Challa's not the only member of the royal family showing up in this expansion. We also have his younger sister, Princess Shuri. She's the head of technological development in Wakanda. She doesn't agree with T'Challa's approach to dealing with Klaue, and the War for Wakanda expansion exposes the fragility of T'Challa and Shuri's relationship. It sets up a series of confrontations that will test their bond, as well as their partnership with the Avengers. Even if they all find a way to come together, it may not be enough to stop the growing threat to Wakanda and its people. The narrative team and I, we created this new original Black Panther adventure, drawing on inspiration from so many amazing existing storylines from the comics and other iterations of the character.
That looks crazy.
We all know and love this character so much and want to share that love with all of you guys. And we're so excited about bringing this new adventure to Marvel's Avengers
that's going to be so gas
to enjoy.
Black Panther is known for his cat-like agility and lethal claws. He is an untouchable force that can pounce at any moment. The team has crafted a full arsenal of custom moves to capture his fighting style and bring him to life. Out of my sight is Black Panther's signature attack, which can be charged with intrinsic energy to perform the kinetic slash, a spiraling uppercut. From this move, Black Panther can branch in and out of the spinning strike-like combo. Pounce from the ground or the air to grab enemies and unleash a flurry of claw strikes. The intrinsic meter is super important for Black Panther. You're going to want to prioritize blocking and parrying to store kinetic energy, which can then be released in a percussive blast. Black Panther's percussive blast unleashes all your stored energy in a large kinetic burst that knocks away nearby enemies and boosts Black Panther's melee damage for a short time. Perform a parry just before an enemy attack connects to turn their attack into a blast of kinetic energy that knocks them back and staggers nearby foes. Enemies who have recently been parried are easier to interrupt with attacks. Black Panther can construct daggers made of energy and vibranium which can be thrown at enemies, near or far. His basic daggers will embed into targets, making them more vulnerable to melee damage. They're a great way to weaken an enemy before unleashing a barrage of melee attacks. The Kimoyo beads can target enemies or allies and provide either detrimental or restorative abilities to their targets. The beads can be upgraded and provide additional support or offensive capabilities such as armor against attacks, destroying incoming projectiles, shooting enemy targets, or dealing damage over time. Additional skills can be unlocked to supercharge your sprint, evade, signature, and combo finisher attacks using your intrinsic energy. There are so many ways to play Black Panther, but here are some powerful highlights. The Assault Heroic King's Mercy is a vibranium spear that can pin multiple targets and deal out large amounts of damage. The spear can be customized to explode on contact or create multiple smaller spears for rapid fire. Call upon the power of the Panther goddess Bast to summon a spectral panther to charge through your foes and empower Black Panther with the energy from the ancestral plane, boosting defensive capabilities. Unleash supercharged attacks without expending any intrinsic energy. The ultimate can be customized to revive down heroes, weaken at nearby enemies, and even summon spectral warriors to fight alongside. Black Panther himself is a fully unique hero with the same amount of skills and gear as the rest of the Avengers. He'll have around 40 outfits and a full suite of emotes, takedowns, and nameplates for the marketplace. Releasing alongside the War for Wakanda expansion is an extensive refresh to the menu pages for Marvel's Avengers. Some of the biggest updates are related to the new unified character page. It contains everything associated with a hero in one easy-to-navigate space. Here you can manage your gear, cosmetics, emotes, and takedowns, as well as view hero and challenge card progress, so you can get back to the action more quickly. This update includes commonly requested improvements for managing a hero's loadout, including more easily comparing items, locking your favorite gear for safety, and dismantling multiple items at once.
No rework though.
Direct access to your locker from anywhere adds an extra layer of convenience. This only scratches the surface of UI improvements our team has crafted for you in this update. As Evan mentioned earlier, we have drawn a lot of inspiration from the Black Panther comics, while striving to make a unique and respectful rendition of Wakanda and its cast of characters. War for Wakanda features a full new biome, the jungles of Wakanda, showing off both the rich and amazing history of this ancient, unconquered African country, but also the futuristic, symbiotic technology of contemporary Wakanda. At the center is the Wakandan capital, Bernanzana, where our new outpost is located.
Yeah, no gear rework.
It features King T'Challa's throne room from where he rules, and the command center where all important decisions regarding the country's security takes place. Shuri's lab houses the nerve center for Wakanda's Kimoyo network. The spiritual annex is located on the lower floor, where Zavavari aids the royal family in the ways of mystical powers. The Wakanda mission design is built on the same foundation as Marvel's Avengers, but with new objectives and an extra focus on dangerous traversal, exploration, and puzzles. Almost all War for Wakanda content is multiplayer enabled, apart from the introduction mission, which is single player only. This is where Black Panther is introduced and celebrated as a new, unique hero. War for Wakanda features a full A-list cast of actors, helmed by Christopher Judge as Black Panther. Christopher is best known for playing Kratos in the latest God of War game and from the TV show Stargate. Shuri is played by Erica Luttrell, known from Dishonored, Westworld, and Apex Legends. Okoye is played by Deborah Wilson from Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order, and Zavavari is played by Dave Fennoy, best known from the Walking Dead games.
They got the
Steve
best
Bloom
voice actors.
Is going all in as the villain Ulysses Claw. To get the Wakandan accent just right, we worked closely with Beth McGuire, the dialect coach from the Black Panther movie. Beth has had multiple coaching sessions with each of the key actors to ensure that the accents are properly delivered and has been an integral part of the voice sessions. As you may have already noticed, Wakanda will release with several new enemies. The main villain is Black Panther's nemesis from the comics, Ulysses Claw, also known simply as Claw. And we're bringing a new sonic rendition of him to life based on his iconic Marvel look. Claw's story is linked to Wakanda.
That's gonna be crazy
and we're
to fight.
excited to reveal our all-new version of his origins in this expansion. Claw has brought with him a team of mercenaries. They have a variety of vibranium and sonic-powered weapons and should pose a real challenge for Black Panther and the Avengers. We're also introducing a new menace, the spider-like crawlers. They come in different variants, including smaller-sized scout crawlers and large hunter crawlers. We're excited to announce the legendary comic villain Crossbones as Claw's head lieutenant, and to debut Wakanda with 2 new villains in one expansion. Crossbones, or Brock Rumlow, is a sociopathic super mercenary who works for the highest bidder, and he's ready to lead the invasion of Wakanda. Crossbones is a formidable foe and has an impressive arsenal at his disposal, including an impenetrable shield that makes him immune to many of Black Panther's attacks.
Crazy.
Discover Crossbones' origins and find out how the Avengers created their own enemy. Thank you for joining us for our War for Wakanda War Table. Log in tomorrow to play Black Panther and defend Wakanda alongside the Avengers. Here's one last look at how massive Marvel's Avengers has become and why now is the right time to assemble.
Yeah. Ranged Black Panther? I don't know. We'll see what the perks are looking like. I still think it's gonna be melee. Melee Valor. Melee is going to be insane because of those new status effects. Those new status effects are going to be crazy.
I'm standing in Wakanda. I still can't believe it.
Oh yeah. I can't believe it either, Kamala.
Are you not entertained? What's up, everybody? Welcome to what is officially now the War for Wakanda launch party. I'm Greg. That's Sandra. And Sandra, the War Table, hype as hell. There's so much to talk about for Black Panther and War for Wakanda. But that was you at the end. That was your voice.
I couldn't believe it either, girl. I couldn't believe it either.
How does that feel? How does that feel to be like, there's this game that's been living and breathing for a year. You have this dedicated fan base. I think last I checked was over 15,000 across all platforms watching us right now. People obviously love Avengers, but they love you as Ms. Marvel. What's that like to finally be back there, be in Wakanda, be able to say that, be you?
Honestly, Greg, sometimes I forget. I was watching this cool thing, and then at the very end, there was my voice. I was like, oh yeah, that's me.
Right, I'm a part of this. Right, yeah.
Well, beautiful, very proud, very proud.
Good. You have a lot to be proud of. You're going to be hanging out with me today now for what? Still a little more, less than now 3 hours, but 3 hours of War for Wakanda.
They just showed the War Table.
If you're just joining us after that War Table, let me remind you that this, of course, is Marvel's Avengers War for Wakanda launch party. What does that mean? It means that for the rest of the day, myself, Greg Miller, and Sandra Saad are going to hang out with you. We're going to talk to the developers. We're going to talk to the cast. We're going to show you more gameplay.
We, of course, just did the War
Table. We're going to talk about where Avengers has been, where it's going, and everything like that. And this is the party atmosphere. And what I mean by that is if you don't watch me on Kinda Funny, that means that we are bringing the garbage truck on fire here. This is a party. People are going to walk in. They're going to walk out. Discord windows are going to pop up.
I just introduced Solomon. Yeah, they showed the War Table.
To hang out and celebrate the War for Wakanda launching tomorrow. Now, what I want to set right at the beginning, Sandra, is you said a lot of nice things about me, correct?
Yes, of course.
What's top of the list? When you think of, shush. When you think of Greg Miller, what's top of the list?
You just slush Sandra?
Warm.
Hold up.
No, man of the people, ladies and gentlemen. I am watching the Twitch chat right now. I have questions from the subreddit, but I want to kick it to the Twitch chat right now, where Flitz said, "What time does it go live?" This is the question I've seen on the subreddit. I've seen on Twitter. I've seen on YouTube. I've seen on Twitch. When can you play the War for Wakanda expansion for free? Answer, ladies and gentlemen. Drum roll, please. Is tomorrow, of course.
New status effects are Sonic and Vibranium.
8 a.m. Pacific, give or take. You know how platforms are. Some update here, some update there. You're doing things. 8 a.m. Pacific, give or take, but you don't have to wait.
Greg better check himself.
It's time to start.
Or Twitter cancel.
We're jumping right into
He's about to be canceled out here.
I'm ready to jump.
You're telling Sandra to shush.
A big deal for me, obviously, somebody who plays Avengers all the time, being able to spin the map and then go right to Africa.
I will throw hands.
Wakanda. A brand new region.
I will throw hands with you, Greg.
Brand new story.
Don't disrespect her like that.
Playing this, we were having fun. We're gonna listen to the story though, right? I got to hear what's going on. I got to know what's happening. We're kicking it off.
Actually, they're gonna show us a little bit of the story.
Oh, and also they told me ahead of time to warn you, of course. Obviously, we're playing pre-release builds from like a week ago on debug units. Anything can happen. So it'll look better and run better probably tomorrow, but you know how it is.
Oh God, please don't have any bugs.
Marvel logo, Sandra. Have you ever seen that before?
These don't have any bugs.
Marvel logo? Oh, this might just be my first time.
I thought it might be.
Humor and old
We get it, Ryan. We get it, Brian. You don't like the game. You sound repetitive right now.
Respect. Is did your father's father? Long ago, a meteor plunged into the land of Wakanda. Wakanda was not an advanced nation then. It was a group of warring tribes. The meteor brought them together because it contained the metal we now call...
Where's my mod?
Vibranium. Vibranium made Wakanda. With it, we advanced. We repelled outside forces. We connected with our past. And our Panther God. You challenged
Brian Durant, keep an eye on him.
Black Panther. But you were born to be king.
Saying, oh, this is going to be spoilery. Yeah, we're playing the first 2 missions of the game. It's going to be very spoilery. If you don't want to know anything, you can wait till tomorrow.
You made a difficult choice, closing Wakanda's borders when you thought your friend had died.
Oh, there's Jeff.
I do not begrudge you it, but this new threat is different. You have no idea how far these people will go to take what they desire.
Greg, I'm scared.
A corruption has followed in the wake of Ulysses'
power of the
claw,
Black Panther. We're gonna be fine.
Made of the vibranium that keeps the heart of Wakanda beating. And that corruption is spreading. Only one man now stands in its way. You.
Brian, if you love the game, be cool.
Boom.
You're being a weirdo. You're being a weirdo. Just be cool, bro.
I can breathe.
You're being extra right now, bro. Just be cool. Just be cool, Brian. You're being extra.
Beautiful. Did you hear that voice?
We get it.
Excuse me?
The game has flaws, but you're not even making good points.
Stop it. Stop it.
Just be cool, bro.
The LAN cable's connected there, don't worry.
We clear? Clear. Let me seek the next charge.
The Panther God always awakens when we need it the most. Wakanda forever. You thought you could sneak into Wakandan's borders. You were a fool.
It's a good intro. It's a good introduction to a character.
That boy clean.
I had enough of these invaders in my lane.
Diversal. Mod of Thunder him.
Beloved, you let him go?
Yes, Okoye.
You just watch him stand.
I know. Well, and that's my thing about it, right? And again, we're gonna talk over sections. You can play it tomorrow for free and listen to it all you want. But like for me, right, as somebody who's played so much Cap, I'm a Cap main, then Widow, then Iron Man in terms of my roster.
Okay, where am I there?
Okay, all right. For the record, I play in a group of dedicated Avengers. One of them is Andrew Goldfarb. He is always Kamala Khan. All right, so don't worry. He's always wearing the frog hat, the Thor frog. You know what I mean?
So Andrew's the best in the group is what I'm getting. Got it.
I assure you he will clip that out and that will now be his ringtone. But yeah, for me, one of the things I love, because I got to play this ahead of time for the press previews, right, is just the look of T'Challa, right? Just the fact of he's built. Look at that back. That, you know what I mean? Like he doesn't look like every other Avenger. I appreciate that they've gone through that. So I'm getting right to it though. Get into it.
Thank you, Tyversal.
Movement. And also, obviously, I think it was Simon Carty, his preview, maybe it was Paul Tassi from Forbes, Simon from IGN, talking about how great the jungles looked. And obviously, with Crystal Dynamics' pedigree of the one, the only Tomb Raider, it makes sense that they would nail that, but they for sure do.
I was just going to say, wow, I want to go camping.
In another fun one, I don't know how much I know you caught up on it, Sandra, but people watching, the idea that they didn't reuse assets for this. Like, there's new chests, there's new things to break open.
He's actually faster than Captain America.
That's hilarious. Feel different, because obviously
he's actually faster than Captain America.
Walled off.
He's coming! With me!
Immediately they show you new
enemies. He's legit faster than Captain America.
All right, it's not a robot.
Captain America mains.
Yeah, exactly. Right.
Sorry, Captain America mains.
Overcharged enemies. Certain enemies can become overcharged. When this happens, they are more resistant to damage and are able to perform special attacks that are only available while in overcharged state. Combat overcharged
Black Panther can also run faster with his intrinsic. He's faster than Captain America. Sorry, bro.
I do believe you're right. Good.
I'm gonna need these. I gotta start.
Oh, you dropped that. Oh,
get my Black Panther out there.
Look at these color palettes, Greg.
I know,
Look
right?
at all these. Crystal, you guys are
popping the ult early.
This new spear that works so much like Thor's. You'll see me obviously use it throughout the day. When I do, you'll see that you can pin enemies to the wall. You can pin multiple enemies to the wall.
It's better than that white.
Pin them like you do with me for all my Thor mains out there.
all right.
Thank you, Tyversal.
Birthday was like 2 days ago.
What did you get him?
Nothing.
Also, why are you playing Dragon Ball Fighters?
This is your shot. This is your chance.
This is Black Panther time.
I thought about him for a second.
That's good enough, I guess.
Yeah. You're welcome, Fred.
What's that like for you? The fact that, like, you know, when, you know, obviously MCU so
yeah, Black Panther's base running speed is faster than Cap,
like,
and you can boost his speed even more with
Marvel
intrinsic.
Up to such a level, and obviously for you to be
they mentioned that during the war table
to be Ms. Marvel, right?
I peeped it in there,
but in the multiverse it doesn't matter, and to be so many people's first introduction to Ms. Marvel, what was that like after?
They haven't told us when it's going live.
So cool.
Hopefully Andy tells us.
Up about it a lot, and it's really touching. To see people be like, oh my god, now I'm buying all the Ms. Marvel comics. Yeah, it's very cool.
Welcome to the jungle.
And of course, to know that like I'm somewhat related in some way to, you know,
BP gonna be the best alien in the game. Facts.
And also, you know, Travis Willingham. I love Thor all around. So.
Listen, it's all right to like Chris Hemsworth. It's all right to like Thor. Travis Willingham is a bridge.
Yeah, we don't have to talk about
that. We don't have to like Travis.
They told us tomorrow.
They
didn't tell us what
time.
time.
That Laura continues to pity him and hang out with him.
At 4 p.m. in the UK.
We going deep.
Oh yeah, well, for anybody that I'm that close with, it's not going to go well
8 a.m. ET.
So now, Chad, I see you popping off and liking it. Obviously, keep me posted on what you want to see.
So the usual time.
I'm here. I can play. I can do whatever. We can jump in. We haven't looked at the new loadout screens. We haven't looked at, you know what, actually, what am I saying? Let's just jump in. Because here's one of the things. One of the other things I saw in the Twitch chat going through was You Hate Mac. And You Hate Mac said, not a single Panther skin has been a miss so far. To which I say, are you kidding me with the Panther skins? You know what I mean? Like they have
so touched.
Excuse me, Greg.
Yes.
Also in the chat, I see someone said, I love you, Sandra. I love you too.
We all love you, Sandra.
I'm so stoked to have the Panther helmet skins. So these are obviously, I think, the ones that are all, I shouldn't say.
That one's at the helmet.
Yeah, these are the ones that are all from the challenge card. So this isn't even talking about what will.
These are the challenge card ones.
But you get into these skins and see.
Yo,
come on.
Yo, those challenge card skins are gas.
That's what I love so much about the challenge cards, Sandra, is that there's such a great. If you like the character, and let me tell you, from playing just 2 missions of Black Panther, I'm definitely going to be going for 150 on this one. I'm gonna be grinding this card. I'm gonna be wanting every one of these for sure.
Blood of the Panther.
Look at that one.
Yeah, that white one clean.
But then, yeah, as I was talking about before, right? If you hadn't checked out any of the stuff, Crystal's been putting
you
up.
Apply a CD, shoot your shot.
Obviously, we've redone the entire character screen. So
I mean,
right here you can get into your.
I don't think she works the CD, so try online.
Your nameplate. It's all here in one thing, including the card.
We knew there were going to be recolors.
Look at them.
But they're all on the challenge.
I was going to be able to show they're on the challenge card. Get a bunch of upvotes on the subreddit. They're locking me out. I swear to God, Crystal, you sons. But anyways, yeah, normal stuff here. We'll get obviously as we play through, you see more. Because remember, we're playing this first mission. Then we're going to talk to some of the people who wrote
colors
the game.
Of fire.
Then we're coming back.
And
to
they're on the
mission.
challenge card.
Then, we're going to get into the harm room. We're going to talk to animation designers, developers. We're going to talk to the cast. We have so much more coming tonight.
Look at this outfit. It's so sleek. I like the classic.
Oh, dude, just the basic one they made. Yeah, it's so grateful to use.
Greg is getting wrecked.
Look at you flipping. Look at you.
I've never been big on the parry, and I know that so many people's builds require that. That's just never been my thing. It's like not right thing. But it's like I'm way more about the dodge and get out of it. And I'll tell you what, the other thing for me that I find so hilarious.
Yo, Greg about the white.
Way worse. So remember,
Greg about the white.
Is the fact that after playing so much of this at 150,
yo, Greg White's, I'm gonna laugh so hard.
Hives are going through vaults with your friends.
You cannot stack the XP boost.
Character that's underpowered. And like, I forgot what it's like to actually not have every move available for me at launch and ready to go.
Greg making excuses, bro. You about the white.
What is this like fire suit that's happening right now?
He's overcharged.
He's just one of the new guys, right? He's just one of Claude's dudes.
Yeah, Greg about the white. Greg about the white.
But he was able to go right to the well for that. And
rock that takedown, bro.
Leave this place. You get out.
Yo, that spear is gas.
Here with the spear.
Yo, let me find out Greg is bad at this game.
That is a VO for the win. Listen to this person. We can't keep this up.
Did they nerf willpower?
What was it like for you to record all that just in the wild VO? Like, I think when we talk about VO, you usually think about like all the scenes we see of you and Troy and everybody in ping pong ball suits getting out there doing your thing. What's it like for when they're just like, all right, cool, and now you've been punched. All right, now you've jumped off something. It's a little bit high. It's not that high.
It's so different, right, than being on the mocap stage, because you're just in the booth by yourself with the director on the other side, like behind the glass.
Black Panther's challenge card is definitely a must cop.
Lines, and you're like, oh, what's the motivation for this?
What exactly is going on? Like, a robot just shot you, huh?
Yeah. Am I in the jungle?
Greg, oh snap! I was about to say. Oh, he got his ult. He got his ult. He wiped. He wiped.
That's me.
Greg wiped.
Put up the death goal. First of the day.
I knew he was going to wipe.
Because you're distracted.
I knew he was going to wipe. Don't blame Sandra.
All right, you look at the chat.
Don't blame Sandra for you being bad, bro.
Beautiful. Yes.
It's not Sandra's fault you're bad at this.
Embiggen!
There it is. She did it. She said the thing.
She did the thing. Let Sandra play, bro.
I can't give you guys spoilers or violate my non-disclosure agreement.
My man really blaming Sandra because he doesn't know how to parry.
Hi, Hi, Andy. Hi. Yes. Oh, you love
said the thing from the thing.
I love your voice too. Probably if I would know what your voice sounds like. But thank you. Oh,
Greg was definitely trying to show off in front of Sandra.
Nice.
he was definitely trying to show off.
Well, I have to imagine, like, especially.
He was like, "Look, Sandra, I'm so good at this game." Oops.
But for all the projects you're working on, let alone Marvel's Avengers, for whenever you recorded, your Wakanda stuff. I guess you could tell me now. When did you record your Wakanda stuff?
A while ago I started. Yeah, I'd say maybe like a year, like
June, June, and FK. That'd be a pretty fun stream team.
Okay, everybody.
Yeah, they should let us. We could definitely kill it as hosts for sure.
I did another, but in the studio.
But the Sandra's voice make her cuter. Because Sandra is bad.
I can't wait to talk to everybody from Crystal on the stream about like what it was like making this game in a pandemic, let alone starting the game not in a pandemic, then transition to being in a pandemic, then you're working on Wakanda in a pandemic.
Okay, imagine you are T'Challa, but you're not in your closet.
Really feel empowered by this, but I'm sorry it doesn't feel that way. You actually.
Right.
There we go. I love this claw to the face.
Greg trying to redeem himself.
This is freaking awesome.
It's very much
Chris Judd's grunting, yes.
Stop, he's already dead.
Chris Judd's grunting
there we go, now I'm starting.
Is a beautiful sound.
I'm gonna do, obviously, as we all know, if you're new to Avengers, you're just jumping in for the first time. It becomes a gear game where you go through, you get the new thing, you equip it. But early on, let's just get our power level up. All right, I'm just gonna use the L2, hold L2, equip the best, and let's go. But jump into skills here. I feel like obviously I'm meleeing more than anything is when I really need to be working on it. But you can see what's going on here as we unlock obviously new combos for T'Challa, get in there, be able to, you know, really get in there hand to hand. That's where I strive, especially early on. Because again, if you're new, you're gonna get all the skill points as you play through to level 50 to unlock all of this, and you don't have to worry about it.
Somebody said stop. He's already dead.
He told you.
Yeah.
I know how the internet works.
To that shield.
Stop hating me.
That is where we will be headed.
Wakanda forever. Yes, Wakanda forever. Sandra is a goat. I prefer lambs, but you know, thank you.
I am sharing it with you now.
Greg, I just got an animal. I just got a pet.
What'd you get?
Every time you would say something to Sandra, you lick your lips and swing your eyes.
Okay, wasn't expecting that. That's interesting.
So you're gonna.
What led you to
your plan, Tyversal with Sandra, is to get reported to HR.
My frog, I was like, sure.
Solid plan.
Okay. That'll do it. That'll definitely do it. Yeah.
The vibranium has spread to this part of the jungle too.
How is it moving so
now this is the corrupted vibranium. There's an event going on, obviously, when this gets launched. Alongside, of course, don't forget tomorrow when this launches, you're getting that new cap skin.
Ain't no shame in the simp game. Shoot your shot.
I love these like sounds going in and out of each headphone. Makes me feel like I'm
getting reported is worth it.
3D.
This is 2021, baby.
He's probably gonna be like, "Is there something in your eyes? Are you okay? Do you need some chapstick?"
He went through several names, but now his name is Frog.
You ain't Denzel, baby.
I appreciate that. Was that was the name Frog when you got him, or is that just like you're like, all right, you know, I'm like,
you ain't Denzel, the same 1992.
You're just Frog.
Yeah, I didn't want to give him my identity crisis. The previous owner did not name him, so.
You know, how did she fall into this frog life?
Yeah, he just had like a million animals, so
okay.
I just wanted to take one off his hands.
Look at you.
You were hoping they would show up Black Panther in Harm Room. They are.
Have you thought about naming it Frog?
They're doing that later. Later today, they're doing the Harm Room.
That's a good idea. And I don't think he'll get too confused if I rename him. It's just a couple letters off.
I can see your comments, Odera.
You know what? Thank you, stream. I will rename
Sandra better than
Yay,
Andy.
everybody, we did our good deal.
Yeah. To be fair, Sandra is better than most. Ryan Reynolds. Well, obviously, Ryan Reynolds. Matthew, the War for Wakanda looks gas, bro. I can't wait to play it tomorrow.
That never gets old.
I will admit it. That was very nice.
It is not every day.
Denzel played Magneto? Nah. Giancarlo Esposito.
And I know we're going to talk about this with Evan in a second for writers.
Is a standard villain when you're looking for diversity.
How fleshed out and alive the universe is already for Wakanda, where it's like, you know, obviously there's a history, there's a past, there's a lineage going on here with what's been happening with T'Challa, let alone
I'll look for the MCU skin screenshot later.
Yeah.
Start spending skill points too. I don't need that objective. I'll tell you what, after using the old menu for so long, it's very bizarre getting used to the new one.
Yeah, it is crazy.
You got some gas donuts?
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
Like we came out of the preview, Sandra and I was on Kind of Funny Games Daily talking about it, and I like to think I have a good ear for voices in the industry because I know so many people, and like whenever we're talking about Dave Fenoy.
We knew it was Chris Judge last year.
In the game, I know.
Shout out to Miller.
And Dave's a great actor, but I just know the tenor and where he is. But if you would have let me play this and not told me ahead of time it was Chris Judge, I would have had no idea. Because obviously you're expecting that boy, you know what I mean? That like we're down there, we're low, and he comes up so high in the accent. I can't wait to find out how him and Deborah got to the accent. Oh
my God, Deborah. I'm a big Deborah Wilson fan.
Who isn't?
Have been for some time. Yeah, of course. I see some people popping off in the chat too. Yeah, I'm a big Mad TV gal myself.
That was my thing. I remember when she started popping up in voice acting stuff. Like, oh man, from Mad TV. And now, like you play as they talked about it in the War Table, right? You play the Star Wars game, and then she pops up, and you're like, oh my gosh, you're fantastic in this.
Legend.
Let alone how she's doing here, and we will see more of Okoye soon.
Apparently, it's not the MCU outfit.
When we were watching this initially, we weren't on mic, but I was like, Greg, that's Deborah.
I have not seen this cave since I was training with my uncle. Like stepping into a memory.
Someone says, Greg, you remind me of Ryan Reynolds.
I'm sure a lot of other people are saying really horrible things about that comment, but I'll take it. Thank you very much.
No.
Looking for a way in. Explosives were not a good idea.
And so this is another big, not change, I guess, but one of the things I think that makes
I'm starting my
War for Wakanda so special. And
I'm starting here, my Black Panther.
Come in here again. There's all this history
gameplay at 12.
Coming through here with his uncle, talking about the history of the Black Panthers. You'll see in a second as we get in there. A little bit more puzzly stuff, which I really appreciate. After so many months, right, of just running through and punch.
Past reaping the souls of Wakanda's invaders. She protects us always.
Babo Lesto says PS4 or PS5. We are playing on a PS5 dev kit. That does mean, of course, that this is not the final build. It's as stable as it can be, and this is from a couple weeks ago. So if anything goes wrong, don't worry about it.
That's the new BP. People think it's the MCU.
Traditional Avengers. Once we go up there, we're not going up there, Sandra. All right, we're gonna come down here. We're gonna get whatever special stuff's down here. Because it's all about the loot.
Someone's got a question for you, Greg.
Lay it on me.
So I was Kamala. What if you got to act in this game?
So standing on platforms. Okay.
Of course, everyone remembers me from Lego Avengers. I was Aldrich Killian in that video game. I was Aldrich Killian. So, Crystal, if you want to put in
hold another timeout, Brian,
as a villain sector, I'm just saying I will gladly keep going. But beyond that, man, that's a great question. I mean, have we announced a Spider-Man voice actor yet? You know what I mean? Like, come on. I take photos of shirtless Spider-Man all the time. I hear he's coming to this. Spider-Man's coming to this game. Why not? You know, come on. Or just put shirtless Spider-Man in this game. So again, Sandra, we come in here. Like, what do you see? You see all these buttons, right? That's interesting. We see logos like that. That's interesting. How do you think we get in there, Sandra?
I don't know. Try to blast stuff. I don't know.
No, that's not how it is. No, we're gonna use the pads here. So we gotta match up our icons, right? So hold on.
That's the icons. All right.
I love these two colors to get this like gold and the greenish.
You got this, Greg.
Greg could voice Throg.
I'm sure Travis Willingham will want that too. You gotta take everything.
But the level design is great.
A lot of people say I gave him the idea for Critical Role. I mean, they're wrong, but they say it.
Good. Moving on.
Tim Geddes from Kinda Funny did voice Throg. That is correct. And which one was that? Lego Marvel Superheroes 2? That's when I was Howard the Duck, and Kevin Coelho was, of course, the Tinkerer. Some say the defining Tinkerer role.
Nobody tell me we don't say the S word around here. Let Sandra play. Sandra should definitely be allowed to play. Tired of watching Greg.
I love this little piano.
Fumble the bag.
I like the snap.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is You can definitely see their Tomb Raider.
Who else would you want to be?
Influence.
Like, first off, like
in this level,
when you got the role of Kamala, did you
Wakanda.
understand what a big deal it was at first?
No idea.
Yeah.
Till I showed up. I was like, wait, no, really.
Greg is surprisingly cheeks. No, they move.
Yeah, how does that work? So, actually, I mean, I'm always torn of if I should keep doing all the puzzles because I don't want to ruin the game for everybody. But you are watching the stream where we play the game. I'm gonna do it anyway. So when you auditioned to be Ms. Marvel,
this is very much a
did you know you auditioned to be Ms. Marvel? Did you know Ms. Marvel was kind of like the entire story, like the linchpin of the whole thing?
I didn't know I was auditioning for a Marvel thing at all. I didn't know I was auditioning for a
Frame
video
rate.
game. They don't it's secret.
It's just how OBS is broadcasting on Twitch.
What it was until literally like I showed up. They're like, you're gonna be playing Ms. Marvel. And then I did notice like there's like a cast list.
It's smooth when I'm looking at it,
right?
but when I'm looking at it through OBS,
and then and I was
it's
like,
not as clean.
They must have like ordered it wrong.
Yeah.
And then I knew the makeup artist really well, and she came up to me. She was like, "Sandra, you're #1 on the call sheet. You know what that means?" And I was like, "No, girl, they messed up. That's what that meant."
You're like, I wish that was the case, but that's impossible. Why would that happen?
Yeah.
Strange to walk this as the Black Panther. My uncle did his best to prepare me for midnight war.
Stop it.
I hope I do not let him down.
Wait, Kevin, can people hear you? Okay.
I like
your
commentary.
Before we went live on this kind of funny stream, Kevin's like, they're not gonna be able to hear me, and then now Kevin's like laughing at me and making fun of me. I'm like, wait, can they be? No, he's just taunting me. Okay. I appreciate that.
It's not on. They're streaming it on Twitch. I just gotta.
Ain't no thing.
I just gotta try to adjust OBS.
Now this is cool. So you come in here, you know, you're thinking, oh, it's some kind of chest or whatever. It's not. It's a train. This is how you travel around Wakanda.
Fortnite isn't tolerated here.
Because I didn't understand when it first happened. I was like, what's going on?
Think about all this.
IGN is streaming it, but they're behind.
Grimher Gaming says Greg got speed. Try, man. But it's not hard. Black Panther makes it easy. Remember, if he's just joining us, this is the War for Wakanda launch party tomorrow. War for Wakanda.
Yeah, the puzzles are a little smarter.
For free to Marvel's Avengers. 8 a.m. we found out Pacific time.
That's a little bit more.
They were playing the first 2 missions. We're talking in a harm room. We're talking to the developers. We're talking to the cast. We're talking to the writers. We're behind schedule, it turns out. I looked over at the clock. I was like, uh-oh. So now I'm like, click. I'm going to start moving at a different pace. You can explore when you get your hands on it.
Tyversal hates Fortnite.
What?
Having too much fun, right?
I know, right? We built the thing being like, oh, it's this long to play through. We forgot we'd be talking to you. We'd be going through, looking at this stuff.
Some kind of sharp metal drill.
Ooh, classic Avengers move.
Here come the spiders.
Kevin, even though people can't hear you, they're saying they like you a lot in the chat.
I think I clicked something wrong.
That's not good. What happened?
The chat, I think I clicked slow-mo.
Oh, that's activated by the mods.
This is Black Panther the game.
Watching, they want to make sure it just doesn't go so much that it's nonsense. If somebody's already modded Sandra in Twitch chat, that's a bad move. Take that away. She doesn't understand the power.
You don't.
She can't take this. She doesn't know what she's doing.
I love his voice so much.
We'll be talking to Chris Judge in just a little bit. First, we're going to obviously talk to Hannah and Evan, the writers of the movie.
Hannah and Evan. Oh, Abu. I love Abu. Yes. Brian George is quite the actor.
Looks the same to me.
This room used to be for sparring with other prospective Black Panthers. Claw and his minions must be stopped.
I mean, I'm moving, Kev. We'll get through it. Don't worry.
If this vibranium
question
had
for
not been
It's just accent is so great.
What is it?
Sounds great.
What hero would I like to meet next as Kamala? And honestly, it is T'Challa. He's just so cool, and this voice, I can't wait to hear it come together. Because, like, as you can imagine, when you're doing it by yourself, you can only imagine what the other actor sounds like, especially if you don't know who the actor is. So now I know what he sounds like, and I'm so excited to see it kind of come together.
Tyversal does not tolerate Genius Button whatsoever.
It's on me for talking to you, having too much fun. So I'm gonna go through this, but what I want to know is a really cool thing when you go, you look at these things and you kind of get the history of what's going on. But I'm gonna cheat the puzzle and just go. So Sandra, you remember 3 snowflakes?
Yeah. I lowered the bit rate. It looks fine to me now.
Square with some stuff on it.
Okay.
A bug.
Bug.
There's square with some stuff on it.
I will start
again. It wasn't square with some stuff. Oh, do I have to do an order? Oh god, I forgot I have to do an order.
Oh, I forgot everything already.
No. 3 snowflakes. Pizza.
They'll be entering all the voice actors. I don't know about all the voice actors, but definitely the ones involved with War for Wakanda, the main ones. A lot of puzzling.
And it was square with some stuff on it. We're gonna say square with wings. That's how I'm gonna say it. Square with wings. The bug thing.
And the bug thing. Square with wings and the bug thing.
I mean, that looks like square with wings. Yeah. Alright, then the bug thing. There's the bug thing.
We have like 1,000 people in the chat. Y'all help him out.
No. Oh, Sandra, that's a big Twitch no. You'd like to think you could look at the chat and they'd help you. No. I'm looking at you, chat, aren't I? I'm looking at you, aren't I, chat? I know how you are. I know what you do. I know what you would do there. You tell us all the wrong stuff. Don't fall for that, everybody, all right?
I'm too trusting.
There you go, Wakanda. Your first real look at it.
I am through.
Hey.
And Kevin, for purposes, yeah, we're coming up pretty quick here.
This is the thing from the thing. Crystal Dynamics showed a clip of this.
Giddy in chat. Sandra is so innocent. Twitch is a brave new world. They show you guys. You show up here. You want to hang out. You love us, and then as soon as you can, though, you will screw with us.
Yeah. Someone was like, "Greg, you can trust me." I'm like, "Yeah,
right."
Greg.
Been burned before.
Spider-Man's gonna be ripped. Spider-Man gonna look like Hulk.
And the Avengers keep close men busy. Draw their attention away from the cliffside.
There won't be a problem. But if the shield comes down, they can help you.
Stop him! He can't get to the cannon!
I have it handled, sister.
Of course, I should stop and fight all these guys for the XP, but like I said, we're making up time here, folks. There's too much going on in this stream.
I love it.
Evan and Hannah are waiting right now in the wings. They don't want to see me go through and fight all these jabronis.
Yeah.
No one gets banned for criticizing. You only get banned for being toxic for no reason.
So good, right?
I said this like Super Mario. He actually changed the title of the video, and it did not help the ratio, bro. He got destroyed with the dislikes.
ER Jones, is this still the first mission? This is still the first mission. Meaty missions in War for Wakanda.
Guess Claw wasn't exaggerating.
Hey, I know that guy.
Hey, Panther boy.
Hey, Panther boy? Excuse me? Talking to a king, dude.
Yeah, Tyversal is the only toxic allowed.
Now,
like,
crossbones at you.
Hopping that ult.
Andy, who's this actor? Who is this?
Crossbones?
Yes. Gonna give him a call. Excuse me.
Strange choice for your last words, crossbones.
He's popping all the heroics.
Looks like you can only shield one thing at a time. Your cannon is unprotected.
Oh, Greg.
This is hilarious.
We're making moves. We're making moves.
Yes. Kick it.
They gotta do damage to crossbones.
Also, you know what? I probably knew.
You can hit the shield.
Bam. There we go.
Bam.
We gotta hit him with everything we got, Sandra. We can't be out there.
Yeah. We're not messing around. This is Avengers.
Yeah, I don't like the shield. I don't like the passive shield thing that they have. I think if you're gonna have them block, just let them block.
As you wish.
Oop. Don't wipe again, Greg. Time to dodge. Oh, you can looks like you can interrupt that move.
Sandra, is there anyone you like working with? Yeah, everyone is great.
Did it show how many missions?
Listen, we all know Troy Baker.
No.
A cool dude. Is there any one person that was actually nice?
This is just the first mission.
I love Brian George so much.
That was the only one on the war table that I saw.
So great. Also,
you guys had such a great relationship on screen.
Also, Usman Ali, who played MODOK, like that guy is incredible, like an incredible actor. Watch him on TV.
What's he on?
Peep.
Oh, yeah.
I'm Becoming a God.
Let Sandra play.
And
Oh.
Sandra, I think.
You almost got it.
No, I don't hate it.
If Greg wipes now, it'll be hilarious.
The cannon is down.
Get him.
Looks like he lives another day, Sandra.
Yeah, next time I'm gonna kick your butt.
Yeah, they didn't show after you beat War for Wakanda, no.
Mufasa says suicide question mark?
But they did say there would be threat sectors and everything like that.
Jeff, Nolan.
Sandra, Simps unite. We're already united. Yeah, Greg hasn't unlocked most of his skills yet. He hasn't been applying skill points, so he's just using the base combos.
Yeah, I think it's just that.
Good. Because he wants to see you.
I'll parry in the next section, I swear, for you guys.
We'll see. I literally think Greg just does not know how to parry.
Yeah, you're right, Kevin. This is a great point. We're going to stop here. That's mission complete, the way it began. And so as we do that, we will continue.
So that's mission 1.
Here on twitch.tv/crystaldynamics, twitch.tv/Square Enix, Play Avengers over on YouTube.
Doom,
and wherever you get all of
Killer, what it do?
Remember, of course, I'm Greg, that's Sandra, and we, for 3 hours today, are running through and doing a whole bunch of different stuff for you. We're playing 2 missions, we're playing a harm room, and we're talking to the people who make this game. So yeah, if you want to start bringing over
2 missions in a harm room
and Hannah, Kevin, that'd be great. We're bringing over writer Hannah McLeod and narrative designer Evan Narcissus.
Evan's coming back.
Tell them when to
Evan and Hannah coming back.
All that stuff, but this is the next thing here.
You guys better behave.
War for Wakanda, of course, launching tomorrow for free if you have Play Avengers.
You guys better behave when Evan comes on.
Yes.
Sandra's the reason you like Kamala.
In the hold on, we knew we could do it. Yay!
It's a party.
Hello, Hannah. Hello, Evan.
Hi.
What's up, y'all?
How you doing?
Chat. Don't do it, chat.
Excited?
Yeah.
Don't do it, chat.
Hannah, what's it like for you? One of
Sandra's
the
watching. Behave.
Here. People finally looking at it, getting to talk about it, hearing the voice lines you wrote.
Oh my god,
behave.
It's crazy.
Sandra's here. Behave.
I've been working on this for so long, and to realize it's coming out tomorrow doesn't feel real.
Do not make fun of Evan's head.
Yeah,
And then Evan, yeah, I guess same question for you. Of course, if you didn't know, ladies and gentlemen, this is not Evan's first go around with the old Black Panther. There it is.
Wow, on the iPad. Thank you.
Oh, you know, I'm a big fan of Comixology. I'm sorry, I still love my local comic book shop. I go there. Look at that. We're getting covered on both ends.
Thank you.
What's it like for you to expand your portfolio of Black Panther work? I guess to something that
you guys are toxic.
Interactive that is going to get to an audience that maybe doesn't read the comics.
I mean, it was that consideration that this would be another mass media adaptation of Black Panther after the character has become a global phenomenon was like so.
Bro, we already established he's the guy from Soul.
Daunting,
we already established this.
Wow. People are hungry for more Wakanda, and this video game is going to be one of the first places they can go to revisit it.
Sure.
So that pressure was really intense, but also like.
Looks like the Twitch chat is on their best behavior.
It was kind of liberating to
can't you guys be more like the Twitch chat? They're not making fun of his head.
Take from the Black Panther
mythos. They're just simping for Sandra.
And Hannah and the team at Crystal Dynamics were really great partners in figuring that stuff out.
Yeah.
Yo, you were.
Evan, you might just be the most articulate person I've ever seen in my life.
He is though.
What a great team. This
articulate. Microaggression.
We had lots of fun. Go ahead, Greg.
No, please. No, this is a party. We all can just talk. Don't worry about it.
Oh, my question for you, Miller, is it really cold enough to be wearing that jacket, or are you just trying to show off some swag?
First off, it is chilly in the basement.
Mine is
right? Yeah, and so Crystal. I put it on, and I do look ravishing in it, all right? So let's not, you know what I mean? I don't come over there, it's so warm, you got to wear this cool print shirt. No, I don't do that to you, Evan. Don't come over here, all right? Don't get
I just want to know. I'm a little jealous. I'm big enough to admit that.
Okay. That's a question I have though. In terms of you guys working together, right? And you
guys are mean.
Evan, you're a narrative designer.
Stop it.
Hannah, you're one of the writers. Hannah, what does that relationship mean to somebody who doesn't?
You said it, Jab. You said it. You said it.
So,
it was said.
I'm technically a narrative designer / writer on the project, but it really depends on what studio you're at. That means.
Okay.
Generally the way I think about it is the writer actually like writes the dialogue.
My man Jeff said he was hungry for that head. I'm like,
how the narrative
pause.
comes across in the game. So how lines are implemented, how the story is told through levels, that kind of thing. Gotcha. And so I do a little bit of both of that. And Evan did tons of narrative design direction just in terms of what our story was
stop being
be.
Toxic.
So yeah.
Yeah, I mean the story was pretty much set. When I came on board, it was more about like, where do we polish? What do we sharpen? What
leave this man's head alone.
Accentuate and highlight. And how does that, loop back into the mechanics and stuff like that?
Yeah.
Gotcha. And so when that happens, how does that work? Hannah, did you guys already have this outline for what you wanted? Like, obviously, I assume you knew long before launch you wanted Black Panther to be this expansion, this character.
Oh yeah. We had a plot. I think there's two very different aspects to writing for games. There's the overarching plot, which has a lot more to do with like the mechanics and stuff like that. And then there's the characters. And so we had the plot in place, like we knew what the plot was. And then working with Evan was a lot of digging down into the character motivations, why they do what they do, what in their past has led them to where they are now, what choices are they going to make that are still going to feel true to the character. So it was a lot of that stuff, especially with T'Challa. Like we really wanted to show parts of him that maybe we haven't seen before. I think the one note that Evan kept giving me was to remember that he's a scientist, because he's very intelligent. He's actually comparable to the other
shut up about it.
members of the Avengers. So that was one that we really tried to hone in on, is that he's very intelligent.
I love that so much about this team, by the way. As an actor, it is so fun to work on a fully fleshed out character with an arc and a story and real
you guys are the worst.
And
you guys are terrible
really
people.
Smart about that. Of course, like it's never fun to be like, oh, I'm just like gonna say random words for no reason. So thank you guys so much for putting in all that care and effort. It really, really shows.
A roadmap, not today.
Thank you.
And so you talk about that Evan, you're very he has to be a scientist. He is a scientist.
Oh my God.
When you come on this project, and I guess you're given just the plot, you get to fill it in. Where do you start honing in on what Marvel's Avengers Black Panther is going to be?
Part of it is thinking about opportunities that the game will give us, that previous adaptations and even comic storylines.
You guys are the worst.
So, like okay, Kamala's
you guys
meeting
are terrible
T'Challa
people.
and Shuri for the first time.
You should be ashamed of yourself.
You know, we know she's gonna nerd out, but like about what specifically, right? How does she express her like awe and her?
You guys are all bad
awe.
people.
And you know, like, what does a dude like Tony Stark think when he's like, oh, you know, the bathrooms here outclass my armor? Like, what?
You
guys
are so rude.
So thinking about those opportunities, and also, you know, like, okay,
what is John even talking about right now?
Character that you can control, right? So, what parts of the environments should have like narrative embedded inside of them, right? And you know, again, some of those decisions were made before I even came on, but it's like figuring out how to deepen them, right? So it's like, you know, in this version of Wakanda, there are like ancestral shrines all over the place, right? So it's like, okay, we can talk about the history.
Hold up, John. Tyversal will trash you.
And the history.
I definitely got money on Tyversal
because it's an interactive environment is embedded inside the experience in a different way, right? Like, you know, to compare it to the movie, whereas you might see Warrior Falls in 2 scenes, here you get to visit a place that has had history attached to it, right? And kind of pull that stuff out. You know, you can go as deep as you want. You can just run through it and fight the bad guys and be done. But
Tyversal is the best toxic.
Read every piece of lore, which is how I play video games. So those kind of things.
A second ago to have to run through the thing and not look at the shrines and like be like, oh god, we're late.
Yeah.
I got Tyversal in 30 seconds.
Watching this a chance to do it themselves and
slow
down.
Exactly.
And that's why I didn't parry that much either, because I wanted you to have the ability to parry and enjoy yourself more, right? Hannah, one of the questions I wanted to pull from over on the Play Avengers subreddit that I got there, right, was Mr. Stash's question. He wrote,
"What's up, Maverick Sanchez?
How long has it been since the Reassemble campaign to the War for Wakanda campaign universe? Like, have the Avengers been back together for a year or a bit, or has it only been a few months? Obviously, we're going to get more of that as we jump in, but we ended that first mission, right, with Cap and Iron Man are there unannounced. Like, what is going on since 8A 5 years ago and whatever's been happening since the end of the actual game?"
Yeah, absolutely. So our thought process is it's only been a few months. So each new release, each new pack, so Kate and Clint and War for Wakanda are consecutive. So they happen one after another after another. And so the Avengers are still, it's pretty tenuous. Their public perception of them has not shifted a ton.
Oh, the war table was amazing.
The Reassemble campaign. So yeah, they've only been back together for a little while. The idea of Wakanda's story in this is that
surprised
before
that
8A,
their Twitch chat is less toxic than my chat.
They're
What's
friends,
going on here?
And they were in discussions of a possible alliance.
Can they see
between
us?
the Avengers
Yes,
and Wakanda.
say hi.
And then 8A happens, and Wakanda's like, I'm out. That's nope. It was a mistake. And so they've been in isolation for 5 years during that time. And then, of course, AIM has now built up their power and they want more. So they enlist this mercenary Ulysses Claw.
Literally everyone's broadcasting this game, bro. Yeah, it's crazy.
So that's sort of how Wakanda
everyone's broadcasting this stream.
All of this madness.
Everybody wants it.
Yeah.
Everybody wants Vibranium.
Of course, yeah. Best stuff on earth.
Yeah.
Evan, when you're coming in as somebody who's already written a Black Panther comic, knows it so well, right? Because you're a huge fan too, obviously.
Yeah.
How do you come in and craft this Wakanda, this T'Challa, this Shuri to be something?
Either they have the best mods,
especially off of obviously the
or
MCU, and
we're in the upside down.
And a milestone. It's been
everybody came here,
getting to come back and celebrate it. Have it be familiar, but be different and be intriguing.
You know, one of the things, Greg, is like a game like this, because there's NPCs and there's overheard dialogue, you really get a texture of what Wakandan culture is on the ground, right? Like, what are the subjects over whom T'Challa rules? Like, what do they think about the job he's doing, or the fact that all these Avengers are up in their business now? Like, so that kind of stuff is really enriching, right? And it feels like, okay, this is something we can do that's different than the movie. Or even some of the comics, you know? So that aspect is one thing, you know, like putting, you know, characters like Captain America in close proximity to T'Challa is always fun, because those characters always had a kinship in the comics, and like reinforcing that. And hopefully, you know, look, I'm gonna be blunt. One of my big desires here is like, yeah, let's use this game and the popularity of this release to pull people back to the source material, right? Which I feel like is so rich and so deep. So, you know, thinking about opportunities where, the different iterations of a character can talk to each other across different media is like always super fun to me. You know,
will there be a horde mode?
There's stuff in here
that like, is like the word on the street
between Clint and T'Challa, where it's like, if you know, you know. It's kind of referencing the kind of weird antagonism they had in the movies, you know, but like it's not dependent on you knowing that stuff. But like,
leave Evan alone, guys.
So that kind of like multi-layered experience, like I think, is one of the things that a game like this, an expansion like this, is really uniquely suited to handle.
Is that a
sure?
Is that a statue behind Greg?
About, you know, when
is Greg about to get killed on stream?
Already had this outline. You knew
what is that behind Greg?
Plot to be. How did you?
That Iron Man?
How do you come up with that plot? Is that just organic of, all right, cool, everything that happens in the core game, and then obviously with Clint and Kate afterwards, but everything that's happening there, you know, AIM is going to start, you know, spreading out. Monica is going to get crazier and crazier. That you need to go see who it would actually be that she goes after.
It can't be John Cena. We can see him.
Obviously, we're always thinking of what is Monica up to. She's definitely our big bad. She was the surprise, like, come in at the end.
Patrol mode is not coming next month, as far as we know.
So there's no always the thought to, okay, what is Monica's plan now? What would she possibly be interested in? But the other piece of it is what characters
was that thing always behind Greg?
Bring
I'm
more
confused.
Value to the overarching Korean invasion story. So trying to think about how each of the puzzle pieces can be put in place to set us up for that big climax. And so that's really where a lot of the Wakanda discussions came from.
Is happening very, very slowly.
Just really wanted to do justice to some characters, especially like Ulysses Claw, that maybe people haven't seen a ton of, or have only seen sort of a one-dimensional version of. And so this gives us the chance to sort of craft some villains that are very different from MODOK.
They're going to get smoked in 4K.
Maybe don't think that they're the hero of their own story, and are much more. They're doing their thing for personal motives.
That's the shadow of Evan's head.
They're personal.
So that's the shadows Evan's head behind him.
Yeah.
Than MODOK.
I think MODOK genuinely believed he was doing the right thing for most of his experience, and I think Claw does not have any illusions.
Did you ask me about those lightning? I have no idea.
You just want to yell at Claw.
Many people ask me many things.
MODOK, you just want to stay away, kind of.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah.
Me anyway.
The suit heard him. The suit heard him. Shut Sandra. Facts.
I mean, for Claw, even in the war table, right, where he literally says, right, like I have a vendetta against the other Black Panther. He's dead. This will have to do. Like, you're like, all right, cool, bro.
Yeah.
Yep.
Black Panther about to stealth kill Greg.
Normal way that you'd see it go for most of the villains who think they're the hero. No, not at all. He knows what he is. I like that. So then, Evan, for you, you know, again, knowing so much about Black Panther, having written comics for him, what's your
Evan's super
favorite
suit
thing about War for Wakanda? Like, what stands out when you think
we found his super suit, guys?
You know, it's funny. It's kind of linked back to your other question about making this iteration different. Some of the changes to T'Challa's backstory are
does Sandra play PlayStation?
Like, I remember when Hannah and the team walked me through it.
Well, she is goated, so I assume so.
That? Okay. So, you know, you let the giddiness pass and you're like, okay, so here's how we can use that, you know, to influence our approach to this version of the character. And the same thing with Claw, you know, it's like, okay, well, the changes for this version hopefully make like the texture of the characters different, right? You know, he's still that dude, you know,
yeah, so not for the head,
sound blast on his arm and that weird face and kind of a no-nose situation happening. But like how he gets there is a little bit different. And you know, I think, look, my one of my goals was
Black Panther,
right,
probably
if you're a
Thursday.
Dude like me, who's loved this character his entire life, why should I show up? You know, is this going to be a replay of the stuff I'm already familiar with and experienced?
Haven't always got his head in the game.
So that I think is the biggest draw for me. You know, but also like, you know, Black Panther's shown up in video games before, but he's always been like a side character. You know, like, all right, we'll do here's some vibranium as part of the plot. We'll do this mission, and we'll go to Wakanda, and then we're bounced. But no, it's like, no, it's here. It's like, it's he's central. It focuses on him, and that feels really special.
And then Hannah, what about you? Same question.
Oh God. Can I see two things?
Of course, you can say as much as you want. You were one of the writers on the game, and this is the launch party for you.
Okay. Yeah, the first thing that's probably my favorite is we had to figure out exactly what each hero's personal relationship was to T'Challa, as well as their opinion of Wakanda. And a lot of that gets to be explored in our new outpost, the Bir Ninzana outpost. And one, Keanu Robin and Jessica Krause worked a lot of the narrative for that section, and they developed a relationship between Thor and Wakanda that is like one of the funniest, like, best moments ever. So please go talk to Thor when you go to the outpost, because it's just like
I'm making a note. I'm making a note because we're going right after this. We're right back into it. Talk to Thor.
Yeah, I like it. And then on my side of things, there's an intel document, and the intel documents kind of turn into sort of monologues of sorts for the actors to perform, like the fan fiction that I've
Bro, what is behind Greg?
There's one from T'Challa's point of view.
As a one-to-one comic accurate
I have
skin.
it on my wall back here.
I got all my props here. I got all my props here.
Yeah, there's an intel document that you can pick up from T'Challa's perspective about one of the backstory tweaks that we make. And when Chris Judge performed it, we were all crying on the Zoom call. Like, it was so
Eddie's on the phone, so it's perfect.
Incredible. I mean, obviously there was a ton of stuff going on last year, and that had, came with part of it. But his performance, I feel like that was the time where I was like, no other actor could have done this.
Greg about to get assassinated on stream, bro.
Chris, because I don't think any actor could have gone where he went with that. So keep your eyes out. You'll know which one it is. It's really obvious. But yeah, that's probably one of my favorites.
Why is Slender Man behind Greg in 4K?
Perform those lines.
What is happening?
And his performance, I was saying while we were playing, right, is just off the charts. Like, I can't get over the fact that this is Chris Judge, like somebody whose voice I feel like I know so well. But then you play this and it doesn't sound like him. He really is lost in that character.
Yeah, it's amazing. I still can't believe he said yes.
Just trying to write a good BB story.
I'm trying to get the show back on stream on time schedules here and everything else. So I do want to know, like, what's on the tip of your tongue, Evan? Like, what do you want people to know about this expansion, or what's your favorite memory from it, or anything that you would want people to know before they set off on it tomorrow?
The way it kind of honors and remixes.
That guys are the worst.
Source material from the comics.
You guys are the worst.
But also charts its own story. There's always been this delicious tension between T'Challa and the Avengers. Even if you go back to some of the Silver Age stories, and this mines that to like such an incredible degree. Like, it's just like, are y'all gonna get along? And that is such a great part of the story, I think.
All the people that make content hating on this game, money.
I really just want them to fall in love with Wakanda the way we did. I feel like that was sort of our driving force.
No, that's a different Miller, Tyler.
It was this deep
very different
love
Miller
of Wakanda. I mean, it's such a symbol of hope,
different in every way,
but also like so textured. There's so many different layers to it. So I hope people love Wakanda. I mean, Black Panther's awesome, don't get me wrong, but he's got an entire nation that comes with him that is amazing.
I don't think it'll be too difficult to fall in love with Wakanda. And the story you've created, and of course all the great
he's Miller Lite.
And the art is just gorgeous. So
bro, they had the actual Miller hosting, that would be goated.
The amount of work. Sorry, Greg. No, if I can really quickly, the amount of work that all the visualization teams.
I'm trying to see how
animation.
I'm trying to see if Greg makes it out of here alive.
Everything from concept onto the final execution is just amazing. Because again, the pressure of having to imagine a new version of Wakanda that's interactive, and you can walk up to that tree and see like, oh, okay, how do they integrate the technology into the environment? Like, that stuff like is utterly amazing.
Yeah, I've loved it. I mean, I was on Wakanda back when it was just gray boxes, and as they started bringing things in and figuring out what the look and feel of the country was, it was just like mind blown constantly. Our art team they really went all out.
Yeah.
And at the risk of sounding like
about to give him the Splinter Cell treatment.
Sorry, Greg. This is how excited I am.
Stop apologizing. Tell everyone who's going to be coming and stop. It is a launch party. We are hanging out and having fun.
Chill it up, bro, guy.
Pandemic, so we all have to be on Discord so people stop and go. You talk. You have fun. You made this. Be proud.
No one should apologize to Greg ever. No one apologizes to Greg.
Evan's headbutt would do 1 million damage.
Listening. Don't apologize.
But just to finish my thought, the suits, some of the suits in this are
oh my god
amazing, and there's some really deep cuts to the comic book lore in the suits that are just. I saw that, I was like, no, well done, guys.
When I went through naming the suits, it was purely to get Evan's approval. I would name it and be like,
I don't think it's going to be delayed.
Look at this.
I think Greg is going to go missing.
They've cleaned up their act here, right? Because when it was press preview and I got to go through this, of course, the first thing I did was jump in and look at the suits, right? And then I did the same thing today. But when I did it, they still had the marketplace up. And so there were so many. I'm like, I am going to spend so much money on this. You know what I mean? Like,
you mean the real Black Panther?
These suits. Evan, Hannah, you should both be very, very proud. Thank you for coming on today and doing this. Congratulations on the launch.
Thanks for having us, Greg. Thanks.
Thank you to Sandra too. I haven't seen you in forever.
You guys are so rude.
Yay! Thank you guys.
All right, y'all. Enjoy. Thank you.
We're going right back to Wakanda now with more gameplay. Kevin, if you want to switch over to that graphic, I can't see if you already did. You might have already. No, you didn't already. We're going to take over here. We're going to pick right back up with the story here as we walk into the Wakanda throne room.
They said they're doing 2 missions.
Okay, I'm sorry. Yes, Evan and Hannah, turn off your cameras. Sorry. Well, good job, Kevin. Look at that. Like I said, a party. I like how Sandra's slowly lobbying to get even more Ms. Marvel time. You know what I mean? Like, oh, I missed you too. Put me in the game. We can if you put me in the next expansion. Put me in the next.
Sandra's not your wife, Tyversal.
All right, Sandra, you ready to jump back in?
Evan is heading out.
Go.
You guys are so rude.
This time, even though I don't think it is needed as much as you see it. I will be quiet.
I don't know what that means. Okay, we got Jeff and got Nolan.
Yeah, see, the Iron Man bug is my fault. I put him in that thing. I should have left him in the other skin. That's me. Again, pre-release content.
You made it.
King T'Challa, Princess Shuri.
Where them MCU skins at?
If we had.
Do you know why AIM has taken a sudden interest in my country?
It likely has something to do with us stealing a very powerful weapon of theirs. And destroying another one.
I see. If it is any comfort, you did not lead advanced idea mechanics to our doorstep.
Good judge.
We've been them like flies for weeks.
So you know about the corrupted vibranium? What it can do to things. And people.
We are working on a treatment for those affected by it, and are narrowing down its source, but how do you know about it?
Because we've seen it outside of Wakanda.
That's not good.
Why does he have 2 masks on?
This means Ulysses Claw is doing more.
Why is Iron Man double masking?
He's the head of AIM operations here. From the information we've gathered, he's deeply entrenched.
Iron Man following those CDC guidelines.
His father was.
He out here double masking.
You're not concerned.
Only by his sonically based technology. It disrupts.
He ain't trying to catch that Rona.
Including our shields and scanners. But AIM will not be cloaked forever.
Iron Man don't want the vid. Ain't trying to get that coof.
Technology has something to do with the corruption.
And we made it just in time.
Ah, to offer help.
You know Kyle going crazy.
To ask for yours.
What's up, Oscar?
Now that we know AIM's
you missed everything.
We can give you information.
And there's still like 5 hours left. This is a very long stream.
Met the locations of corrupted vibranium outside of Wakanda. We need to know.
You missed the war table.
And plan a dispersal method for
the interview with Evan.
I'm on it.
And the first story mission of Black Panther, War for Wakanda.
Already doing to fight Claw and
this is the second mission.
And hopefully make ourselves useful.
Captain Rogers, can you meet me in my lab?
All right, so here we go. First chance we can actually explore Wakanda.
I'm on my way.
Or,
because just look at it, Sandra. Look at the detail.
I am humbled.
Yo, that looks fire.
So royal.
I'm just waiting for that shadow to grab Greg. All of a sudden,
Run, Jeff.
All of a sudden, Captain America gonna stop running. Greg gonna disappear.
You keep in touch with any of the Avengers? You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I text with them every now and then.
He does an excellent T'Challa. Yes, he does.
Who plays Dante is like one of my best friends now.
You mentioned you would be willing to share some information.
I met him.
Whatever you need.
On the mocap stage.
Wakanda will have access to all resistance intel.
Thank you.
Bandra's Bay. Yes, she is.
I am surprised the corrupted vibranium has spread so far beyond our borders. We will need to contain the damage Claw has done.
You got eyes on him?
Ooh, tell him about the Kimoyo network.
Kimoyo?
This is the Kimoyo network. Well, part of it.
In cap speak, it's the internet, but better. Much better.
The Kimoyo network provides our people access to all of Wakanda's collected knowledge. We use it for communication, transportation, and a great many other things. All thanks to our Kimoyo beads.
And she won't let us have one. Citizens only.
We have been using the network to keep track of Claw's movements. He is quiet for now, but if he makes any noise, our warriors will find him.
Well, I don't doubt it.
Thank you for the data, Captain. And when you get a moment, there is someone else who wants to meet you.
No emote, Will.
Who's that?
As far as I know.
Down to my chambers. I would appreciate it. Follow the smoke.
That was unnecessarily menacing.
That's new.
Come down to that chamber and explore Wakanda and what our treasures have to offer.
I love that he skips like 5 steps at a time.
I mean, he's Captain America. He can do it.
Yeah.
He's not gonna roll anything. Oh, look who it is.
Who is it?
You.
Oh.
Is it me or were those guards
Hey.
staring for
Oh yeah.
Hawkeye.
I think that's weird.
It's Tony Bing.
You know why?
AKA Hawkeye.
Minority now. This is just how things are.
What? Really?
Yep.
Oh man, that sucks.
It's not all bad. For every person who stares, there's like 1,000 who smile for you. Who welcome you for being different. For being you.
That's.
I think they'll fix Thor's cape. Maybe.
My moments.
That was you, Sandra. That was you. So uplifting.
Yay.
As always.
Yeah, this out.
I feel like the amount of times I
Definitely the best outpost so far.
Good isn't a thing you are, it's a thing you do.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you every time. Thank you, and Abu.
Yeah. You're welcome. I have it in my heart.
Wakanda forever.
I like the little touches of them over there. Yeah. Taking the
Yeah.
spears.
These candles.
You think I actually have this early?
For a good candle.
Oh, you silly, silly child.
The city after you?
If I had this early, I would be playing it instead of streaming this.
The Captain of America. I am honored we can finally meet face to face. King Azuri always spoke fondly of his encounter with the American Iceman.
The feeling's mutual.
You may call me Zawavari. I am the mystical advisor to the Wakandan royal family. May I ask you a favor, Captain?
Always.
The young king seems to trust you. Do not make him regret that decision.
I won't take our position lightly. I promise.
In return, a secret. The gods have far more to do with Wakanda's impressive technology than you might guess. As Sneaks, the princess's assistant, minion? I will tell him I sent you.
Your guidance is appreciated.
And may the Orisha guide you as well, Captain.
Ooh.
Look, we got Thor over here. We were told to talk to Thor. That's one note. Talk to Thor from Hannah. All right.
Thor.
There he is.
Thor. Didn't expect to see you in a place like this.
Well, Midgard's sorcery has always piqued my interest. And the royal shaman is quite amusing.
He doesn't mind you going through all of his stuff.
What? Of course not. We're the best of friends already.
We are not.
Okay, I'll leave you to it.
That would be for the best.
Yeah, I'm interested to see how that relationship develops.
Yeah.
We're the best of friends already. No, we're not.
It never registered to me that he was the captain of America.
Yeah, you like that? Yeah.
Zaravari, your communication bead is still functioning on your Kimoyo bracelet, right? Because sending people messages inside their head is unsettling. Oh, they are here. Shh.
This is quite the workstation.
Combat research and development, all of which is now available to you as well. You may thank Princess Shuri for that.
I will. You working on anything interesting?
Take a look. Zawavari has
This drops
no
8 a.m.
of the more
Pacific time.
mystical properties of vibranium. perhaps you'll reap the benefits. Should you prove yourself a worthy ally of
But this is the new gear vendor.
That's a lot to live up to.
Follow our king.
For the outpost.
All will be well.
It's nice meeting you, Nix.
Steve, we need you in the war room upstairs.
So obviously,
Captain Okoye wants to brief us. Something about malfunctioning security systems.
Get the Sonic stuff.
I'll be there ASAP.
8 a.m. Pacific.
New war table too. Ah, Sandra, where we'll take all our missions.
I usually just Google what that translates to in my time.
Captain Okoye, what seems to be the problem?
King T'Challa has a request. Our scouts have reported Claw is mobilizing his forces throughout Wakanda with remarkable ease.
We believe Claw's found a blind spot in Wakanda's security system.
8 a.m. Pacific time.
We'll investigate and we'll reinforce if necessary.
Claw does seem to know what he's doing.
Many have tried to conquer Wakanda.
Black Widow.
Us of our heritage. As you can see, they have all failed.
And so will Claw. We'll help you however we can.
Good. You have permission to use our war table.
Let's get to it.
Let's put that vibranium of yours to good use, Captain.
Thank you, Okoye.
Booyah!
Yeah.
Pretty much the same time the DLCs always drop. 8 a.m. PT, 11 a.m. EST. All the DLCs drop at pretty much the same time.
Spend a lot of time in photo mode. Well, yeah, this is beautiful.
Right?
Yeah.
Totally.
Even the map looks fire.
Especially with all the cool suits and all the new looks and all the new areas of Wakanda to go through. And I love the helmetless variant. I need that for the more traditional cap skin. Obviously, I have one I'm wearing now, but
you just wanted to show off this suit.
As usual, I have no idea what you're talking about. I recognize the Avengers as allies of Wakanda.
Thank you. I hope we do you justice.
You will have to get used to keeping up with me.
Andrew's so cute.
That's my brother's version of a warm welcome. You will also have
Prince
to get
Mufasa
used to
says,
that.
Shuri sounds great. That's Erica
You
Luttrell.
finally agreed to accept help, and it is from
alongside the
outsiders.
rest of the cast.
That is not like you.
I am not accepting help. I am giving it.
Then let me send teams to the corrupted sites.
I mean, it's not going live.
with you when you confront AIM. Do something other than driving yourself headfirst into danger.
You can just turn it on
just a king on a
when it's time.
I am the Black
save your PlayStation some trouble.
Then show us you can be both.
I will.
Big words, Sandra. Big words. Let's see if you can do it. Yeah. By him, I mean
A lot of pressure, Greg.
Avengers, I hope you have familiarized yourselves with the palace by now.
Your people have been most welcoming. I'd like to see more of Wakanda once Claw's been dealt with.
You're such a tourist.
A tourist? In Asgard, we call that adventuring.
It's an emergency transmission.
This is Okoye.
They have all the bad skins for the Avengers.
We need assistance.
You
I hate
cannot
it.
handle close forces alone?
He's not just Claw. He has turned our defense systems against us.
Impossible.
We've lost her signal. If Claw has broken the Kimoyo encryption, something is very wrong.
Then I think it is about time the Avengers see what the Black Panther is truly capable of.
I didn't want to acknowledge the bomb from Just Day.
I do not like the idea of Claw hacking.
I just wanted to let it sit there.
Of course, in the war table, they pointed out nearly all the missions would be multiplayer for War for Wakanda. They said in the thing, right, of course, that it would be like, hey, you got to...
Ali Awad, I have no idea what that question was.
Avengers, obviously, you can start having people searching.
Where's the green guy? He's crying over Monica.
No. Again, we've said this before.
Uh-oh.
Debugs, pre-release code.
Uh-oh. How's Greg not dead yet?
Sandra,
I don't know.
Throw it in my face. I swear.
Whoever's behind Greg is taking their time.
Hop back in. Do the thing.
All right.
You know much. Mission requires mission. All right, we're gonna try it again here. It's always good to look over at the Crystal Dynamics representative and he just shrugs. I love it. Thank you very much. Again, I mean, we were behind schedule, so it doesn't matter. Pick it up.
Oof. Big oof.
I love the shrug.
Bro, if this mission don't launch.
I love these like lines that fade in and out of your headphones. You know what I'm saying?
Bro, this mission better.
Yeah, as you run by him.
Bro, this mission better launch, bro. Here we go. Take 2. Let's go. You can do this, Greg. You got this.
Skip the cutscene once I can.
You got this, Greg.
Avengers, I hope you have familiarized yourself.
Avengers. How you about to have a field day? You already know, bro. He's just waiting. He's streaming this right now. He's just waiting. Here we go. Launch. Here we go. Be good. He's at 11 power already.
Mission downloaded. It's a recording mission.
Ah, damn it. Oh no.
Here's where lesser hosts, lesser producers would panic. You know what I mean? We're supposed to play the second mission. If something's wrong with this debug stuff on the unreleased code that's already being, prepped for blah blah blah, we don't panic.
No,
Kevin.
we're calm.
He'd be cool.
Kevin, do you read me? Can we play the second mission that I gave you, the video?
Oh, they have a backup just in case.
We planned for what if Greg dies? What if I explode? What if there's a gas leak? What if a dinosaur tears apart my house?
They recorded it in advance. That's smart, actually.
We have contingency plans. Everything's gonna be fine.
They're on top of it.
Bananas in the chat says, yeah, do you have Black Panther's harm room? Yeah, we have Black Panther's harm room. And guess what? You were already gonna get Black Panther in a harm room with the 150 character. You don't have to worry about that. We're not burning that here. We're not using that here. That's coming up later.
I love this, Greg. Someone is using your face as an emoji.
Oh yeah, I have a lot of emojis out there. I don't know if they're very popular on the internet.
I didn't know.
Yeah.
Love it.
Well, Kevin's giving me questions.
They pre-recorded a video of them doing the second mission just in case it didn't load on stream.
Let it play in the little window and we can just watch it. There you go.
That's kind of brilliant.
Can you scrub through to when we launch the mission?
That's actually really clever.
Be honest. You just wanted to show off.
It only took me 14, 15 years in the industry to have a backup. You know what I mean? Because 3 years ago, I want to know what I'm doing. You know what I mean? Easy Allies is hosting this. They panic. They jump out the window. But us, kind of funny. We're fine. We got it.
Yeah, we're good.
Thank you.
Galaxy Brain.
Yes.
What is standing out to you most so far as we go and watch all this War for Wakanda stuff?
It's not getting delayed. he said this about 5 times.
Right,
this isn't the launch version of the game.
Well, it's that thing. I didn't know if people were seeing what I was seeing.
This is the older version of the game.
We're off to the races here as we watch pre-can down. I know Greg's not playing. You're upset about it. I understand, but don't worry. I'm sure this person's fine. Of course, you get to play this tomorrow.
It might still have some launch problems.
Launches its War for Wakanda expansion,
but it's not related to this.
8 a.m. Pacific time, as we've talked about. Here we go. Finally we get to see Black Panther team up with the Avengers and brawling through there. And that's what it's all about, Sandra. Teaming up.
Yeah. We're a team. I wonder when Chris Judge is coming soon. Chris Judge, Erica, Deborah, Dave. We got it.
They're all coming through to talk about their roles in the game. Don't you worry. The cast is up next. You can get a taste. Oh, there you are. That's you again. In Biggin.
My eyes are just... Hey!
That was impressive.
Thank you.
So that wasn't all right.
Yeah, I know, right? I still like the little lines of dialogue back and forth.
Yeah.
And then giving each other grief.
Yeah, Black Panther is definitely faster than Captain America. Rip Captain America mains.
This will take us near the border.
Back into that tram I was talking about. I'll tell you what. So last week, obviously, Sandra, I got to go preview this down at Crystal. Talk about it on the shows, and then obviously.
Okay.
Listen, You made your choice. All right. You decided you wanted to live in LA and you wanted to be an actress. I hope it's working out for you.
Who's complaining now?
Live in SF and barely make rent and go play video games. All right. So I get to play things early once in a while. That's karmatic. That's karmic justice. But when I was over there playing it, right, loved it obviously. Came back.
Are they going to cap Patch's running speed?
Weekend,
probably not.
Where all I wanted to do was play more and grind Black Panther, but I was like, oh, I still don't have it. So I turned it on. And
this is the new elevator scene. These are the new. These are the Wakandan elevator scenes.
Look for menus and stuff for Avengers. Try to play other stuff, and I was like, oh, it's just not hitting the same way. So I'm very excited for tomorrow.
Yeah.
Better hurry than Orphan King.
I want to just like hang out here.
Now it's funny you talk about hanging out here, right? This is obviously, you know, the new kind of elevator here. One of the things I've seen get so much traction.
What kind of elevator is gas?
Post-launch of Avengers, right? The life as it lives on and keeps going. Are all the conversations you guys get to have in the elevators? Where especially when they, you know, finally put out the PlayStation 5 version, load times were so much quicker that people were missing out on elevator content, right? Like you can get out of it if you don't want to, you miss it. When you guys recorded those conversations, how did that work? Is that stuff you're doing on the mocap set? Is that stuff you're doing in, like you were talking about, where you're
they
like,
camouflage?
You know, loot bot doing this? Because it sounds so organic.
Get the loot bot.
Like, there was one the other day that I think I saw, or it was either Goldfarb talking about it, or it was the subreddit of like, oh man, like you're talking to Tony's like,
oh, you missed the loot bot.
You got any questions for me? And he's like, what's it like having Cap as a leader? I was like, such a great dunk on him.
Cap's fly.
But it sounds so natural. Is that stuff that was already written? Is that all improv?
He's getting friend zone. Facts.
Sometimes we riff and like I don't know what they keep and what they don't.
Sure.
But we do have all of that does sound like the stuff we do in the booth by ourselves.
Wow,
So we get all those lines and we're like, all right, cool, and then you do see the lines coming before and after you. And of course, keeping in mind, like, oh, Nolan's gonna be saying those lines, so like I know him.
I'll slide you a challenge card. You talking about?
So like,
it's not even physically possible.
So yeah, I think knowing each other and having had worked together on the mocap stage definitely informs my behavior and my responses.
Do daggers do damage over time? Only if they have a status effect equipped.
Oh yeah, look at those big hands.
His ultimate restores some his assault heroic restores some intrinsic. Good to know.
Look at that. See, this is even. Why were we gonna? They're gonna have me play this whole thing. This is
daggers weaken them.
Look, he was throwing like shurikens there. I'm just throwing straight knives. He was throwing them with a curve. That's awesome.
I gotta see what the specs are on the daggers.
All that obviously more coming up in
the skill tree.
Seeing what the actual skill tree looks at, a bit more buffed up. But for now, hot on the trail of one Ulysses Claw.
I'm definitely going to use the daggers to get some perks going. Hawkeye,
Rico,
Hawkeye, Black Panther.
Leon Frosty says, Sandra, you've killed it as Kamal. I love your work.
Thank you.
About to have bag of tricks. Black Panther.
Question over here was this gameplay recorded on a PS4 or PS5? This was recorded on a PlayStation 5 as well. Yeah, I'm not being corrected by Crystal Dynamics.
Hi, Crystal Dynamics.
MRKO in the chat says, show us the challenge card. I did. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We went and looked at
Team skill tree.
No, yeah, remember I tried to and it was turned off. They're smart with what they're doing with the thing, so I can't show you everything. They want you to play it tomorrow.
I don't know what banner is.
They want you to download it and be excited for something tomorrow.
I guess he wasn't invited.
Everything for you.
I'll try though. When we get to the hard room, I'll try again to ruin it for you.
Bag of Panthers. Bag of Kamoyo.
Yes, thank you, CD Debs, for all your hard work. Yes.
So glad they didn't make him slow.
Ooh.
Anyone that was trying to recreate the Captain America and Black Panther running scene from Infinity War are going to be very disappointed.
We're gonna do our base in the last 5 minutes, even less than that actually. At 11:45, we're gonna bring on the cast here. You'll get Christopher Judge, you'll get Deborah Wilson, you'll get Erica Luttrell, you'll get Dave Fennoy.
They're bringing Christopher Judge out here. Nice.
If you want to play this, if you want to see how the second mission ends.
How do I know BP is faster?
Tomorrow.
Because I can see.
Copy of Avengers and download War for Wakanda for free, of course, like all the other expansions, all the other characters. Remember, of course, if you're
I'm looking at his speed right now.
Of course, I'm not lapsed. I've been here the whole time. But if you, for some reason, said, you know what, I got to go do other things. You got Clint, you got Kate, you got an Omega threat level. Even I doubt you're ready for it if you haven't been playing.
He clearly
right,
covers
Sandra?
ground faster than Captain America does.
They got no exotics. They don't know what they're doing over there. You get out of here. You got a villain sector with Monica. You got so much more stuff to play.
He's basically moving at Captain America's speed, intrinsic speed.
Greg, do you remember what Kamala's favorite ice cream is? Someone just asked, and I'm stumped.
I mean, is that talked about? It must be an elevator conversation. I don't remember that as a plot point in the movie or the.
Hawk is the fastest.
No, it was definitely
only because of the jump.
Yeah. I just remember you with that Slurpee.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Also, is it weird when I refer to Kamala Khan as you? To you?
I'm used to it.
Who's my team?
Like, I understand there's a difference, everybody. All right.
No team. Sonic disruption.
Chris Judge is so good. That's why.
I just want to stop everything and listen to my thoughts.
Dragon S31 says
Yeah, that's gonna look very. That's gonna get very annoying.
Well, what's the answer?
Yeah. So I know Abu like just eats all the ice cream. I'm not sure about Kamala.
That sonic effect is gonna be super annoying. Blurring the screen like that.
Can I scratch my arms? Not really. I'm not as flexible.
I can already tell.
As usual, I can't. Can I trust the chat? You know what I mean? All right, seems like it's mint chocolate chips is what everybody's saying.
Okay.
Your Thor is maxed out. Congratulations.
Like your nightmare as an actress.
What?
Of like you're at a panel and like people are like, I have a question for you. When it's something like you said like obviously 4 years ago in a recording booth, you're like, I don't remember what that is.
I'm used to it by now. I get asked so many questions that like I cannot remember the answer to. Like I don't know. No shame.
You're like, listen, I'm glad it made an impact on you.
Yeah.
Study Drop D says I can trust him or her or them because I said I don't know who I can trust in chat. But apparently I can trust Study Drop D. So I will from here on out, Study. Keep me honest. The Avengers just working these people.
Mm-hmm.
This is what you get for invading Wakanda.
Nice.
Okay. So, ladies and gentlemen, like I said, this is
Avengers
the
with me.
campaign mission for War for Wakanda. You get to play it tomorrow, so we don't have to worry about ruining it or showing you. You already see Black Panther's pretty dope, and if you look at him, you're like, I don't know if Black Panther's all that dope to play as.
Everything looks clean.
You'll get to find out a little bit later today when we go into the harm room with a leveled up Black Panther and get to show off some of the cool combos, movesets, stuff like that. Go through and pick some stuff. But for right now, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for Kevin to start bringing over the cast. Of course, we're going to bring over Christopher Judge. We're going to bring over Deborah Wilson. We're going to bring over Dave Fennoy. We're going to have a big old conversation about what it's like to be in this game. There it is. Dave Fennoy's turning on his camera. Hello, Dave.
Hey, how you feeling? What's going
Dave
on?
Fennoy.
I'm feeling good, Dave. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic.
All right.
MCU scan for Black Panther confirmed for Thursday. Thank you, Brian.
Chris, Deborah, Erica, you feel free to turn on your camera. Look, it's happening. It's happening. It's happening.
Hi, guys.
Well, Christopher Judge, you need to turn on your camera. There it is, man. We did it.
Hey.
We made it happen, everybody. The cast of War for Wakanda is here. Hello, Dave. Hello, Deborah. Hello, Chris. Hello, Erica. How are all of you?
So good.
Hey, doing great.
Let's.
That's what I love to hear. I'm so excited to do this.
Yeah,
with
Chris
all of
Judge
you.
looking
Of course,
looking
I've
swole.
been, banking my own questions for quite some time. I have a whole bunch of questions from everybody else, but let's start right at the top. All right, Christopher Judge, how do you do this with your voice? All right.
We're just jumping right into this, aren't we?
Hey man, I'm here to keep a launch party going, Chris. All right, get on my level.
How do I do what with my voice?
I think I was, as I've joked around before on the stream, right? I feel like I have a good ear for voiceover. Whenever Dave Fennoy pops up in a trailer, I know it's Dave, and I call out Dave and I yell at that it's Dave. Sometimes I text Dave. For you, this T'Challa sounds nothing like your Kratos. It sounds nothing like you just speaking here. Like, was that hard for you to do? How did you get into that space?
It was extremely difficult because this is my moneymaker.
Yeah.
So I wanted to really dive in and really explore the voice, and with the help and guidance of the wonderful Beth McGuire, I was
Sandra is taking a break.
Forced to explore other areas.
Eric is cute too. Of course, she plays.
You talk about exploring this. One of the questions I think everybody had across the board, right, was
I know, right?
Put most eloquently, I think, by Six Black Falcon, who wrote in and said, "How long does it take to master the accent?"
I wrote something for
this role,
Sandra, but
this is a question.
Don't
for
sleep
the
on Erica.
League.
Hold up
you
now.
Get this role? Like, how do you start
up.
approaching this character of Okoye?
First of all, it's not a challenge to approach the character itself. It's more of a challenge to approach the dialect, and that really is very important. So,
bro, that suit is stalking Greg, bro.
General, whether you've never read the comics or whether you know of her and have never seen the film itself, you know that she is a strong leader of the daughter Milaje.
Erica is fine.
And you know that she is a loyalist.
Erica is fine like wine.
Died for her king and for her country, and you know that she's adept intellectually and physically, and she has all of that prowess in there. So coming from that strength, you're strengthening your body, your mind, and everything.
Yeah, they got it right now.
To me, that comes first. Once I strengthen up and shore up in my shoulders or back, my diaphragm then becomes more ready for me to be able to take on what I need to do. So when it came to Beth McGuire, even though it was a challenge, I was glad that it was a challenge.
Black don't crack.
As Okoye, I will hit that challenge, I will meet that challenge, and I will surpass that challenge. And so I really looked forward to Beth continuing to guide me and shape me and mold me, because that's where Okoye's strength comes from. It comes from in taking on these tasks and then surpassing them.
I feel like every Monday morning I need to call Deborah for a pep talk. Like, I'm ready to take on the world right now.
Yeah, you know why?
You mean you don't?
Chris Judge been bench pressing vibranium. God dang. Man is yoked right now.
I said it. I went full screen.
This is your launch party. You go full screen anytime you want to. All right, you get out there, Deborah. Erica, was it the same for you and Shuri? Did you put your shoulders back, your diaphragm out, and feel like you're gonna take on the world?
I don't know about yes. I don't know. There was definitely a posture for the accent and for the characterizations and for where the voice sits in your body. Like, you kind of have to, tip your head up. Like, you can't slouch into it, interestingly enough. So it was just, there was a lot of sort of like back of the head vibration. I remember Beth being like, you need to hear it back here, or feel it back here, and sort
this
of
is Black excellence,
which is very different from your natural speaking voice. It was a lot of technical stuff to get into the voice. So yeah.
Dave, what about you? I want to make sure we go full circle with everybody. Like, how did you go?
One of the things I would say, I have not mastered this particular accent, which is why Beth was on set all the time. When I say on set, on the Zoom call, got it pretty good. But after every take, that you felt good about, where you felt like the acting was right, and you're right in there with the character, oh man, that felt great. And now the Beth test.
Yeah.
And sometimes, oh, that was great, keep going. And sometimes, oh, that word there. No, that O needs to be like this. No, you need to hit that letter. So there are a lot of accents that I do I don't have to think about. This wasn't one of them.
Right. It's so interesting what Deborah said about your posture, your body, because I felt like at the size I was, that I couldn't do the voice. So I actually lost about 20 pounds, to be
War Machine does need a voice actor.
More agile, more as I envision T'Challa's physicality to be, because I was having real difficulties when I was kind of more muscular, and I felt heavier, and I felt the only place I could go was to sit in my
I could definitely voice War Machine.
And then as soon as I started lightening up weight-wise, okay, as Dave said, it was never easy, but it was more accessible.
How long was that process for you, Chris? Like, how long were you? I mean, were you already working on it, and then you're like, you know what? Hold on, I got to drop 20 pounds. You're like, okay.
I kind of knew it my first session with Beth, that I had to be more agile, and so it was my first session. So I actually worked with Beth, I think 4 weeks or 5 weeks before we ever recorded.
Yeah.
So it was, that's how far I had to go to get there. So, because I kept requesting, I'm not ready. I need more sessions. And so through that, I was just losing weight.
Deborah, look how surprised you are.
Was it worry?
Did you just go in, knock it out of the park?
What,
I repeat that?
So, were you losing
More machine lines?
because you were worried? Is worry weight dropping off?
You looking for this?
Probably 50%, but yes.
And then Deborah, what did you say?
No, I'm just very fascinated because everybody's journey to get to that space is different. So when you're hearing this journey, it's very fascinating, very fascinating. And it also at the same time, very inspiring because when you have a powerful instrument and you're willing to shape it in order to fit this other vessel, it's inspiring. It's a masterclass in dedication and devotion and passion to what you do. And that's why you are a consummate professional. And you're everything you do.
Coming from you, that means everything. That, truthfully, one of the most frightening parts of it was that I knew Deborah was there. I knew I couldn't come in half. Otherwise,
she's gonna have it.
Trust me, Tony.
But you know what? But you're also the kind of man that when you show up, you show out, and that inspires others.
Love you. I love you.
You know, we go forth all day long.
I want to just turn off my camera and let you guys have a conversation.
Hold up.
Deborah, for you, what drew you to the project? Like, why'd you want to be a part of this one?
I didn't know what the project was. So honestly, it simply was an audition. And I knew how to do the general and the basic African accents. I knew 2 particular accents that I could, African accents, and I said, okay, you know, West African accent, Nigerian, I can get that. And the general accent that's kind of light, which has an African lilt, but not over the top like Nigerian. I was like, I'm good with that. And so I had no idea what the project was. And believe it or not, it wasn't until
next time,
I got
baby,
to a callback of it.
Are you even pulling?
Started to come to fruition to what it was. And at that point, I'm still immersed in,
just represent.
In doing that accent, in finding that space, in becoming that energy, that it wasn't about whether I got it or not. I was too focused on, can I be in this space right now and hold this space and feel good about what I'm holding, feel good about what I'm holding. And so they are going to have their own feelings and opinions, but can I feel good about what I'm holding so that whether I book this or not, can I say I did the job? Because for me, booking and a job are 2 different things. When I'm in the booth, I did the job. I'm doing the job. I don't look back because I know I did the job. So if I don't book it, I know I did my job. So at that point, for me, it was also a matter of immersing myself in that moment and staying in that moment to do the job. And by the end of it, I was like, brush your shoulders off, player, you did the job. And so when I booked it, it was like, wow, great. So it wasn't over the top because I had no expectation. I dropped the expectation so I can focus on the job.
I charge $30 an hour for my voice acting services. Crystal Dynamics.
We've been hired. We're having fun.
You need a war machine.
Said every young actor should listen to that because the reality of what we do for a living is the audition process. Your audition is truly the only time you 100% own what you do. There's no input. You come with what you come with. You come with what you brought. And that is truly the
They're talking about voice acting.
100% in control of what you are doing. When you're on set, it's like, how about if you do it like this? Or if you took another 2 steps this way, then you'd find your life. Or things like that, right? So it's yes, you can come with your character, but there's other things that you can't control. So when you are in that room over Zoom, over wherever, and you are auditioning, that is the only time you 100% control what you do.
Yes.
Chris, a question for you on that track. How long did it take you to learn that? You say every young actor should learn that, right? I remember I had Nolan North on a podcast around Iron Man, and he said a very similar thing of, right? Like, he just goes in there and he does what he wants to do with that character. And if they don't like it, no harm, no foul, and he moves on, right?
That would be the most watched episode of What If
sleep at night.
with Terrence Howard.
When you go in knowing this is my take on it, that's all I can do. Then it allows you to sleep at night. But if you're trying to, let's say, give someone what they want, you'll never sleep. Because then it'll be like, well,
what are you looking for?
If I oh damn it. Once you're honest with your performance, you can sleep at night. And it took me a long time to learn that. Right. To learn that my victory, as Deborah said, my victory is going in there and showing what I think this is. That's my victory.
Erica.
Committing to it 100%.
Right. Yes.
Erica, a question for you is, I see you nodding to all this.
Yeah.
I get it, right? You go in there, you own it. When you get it booked, is there a moment, like, I guess, and this applies to everybody, but right now with you, Erica, for sure, a character people know so well now from the MCU, if you are a comic book fan, obviously from comics, is there a moment of, awesome, I got it? People already have opinions about this character and I need to figure out what my version is. Do you let that expectation get in your head?
No, thank goodness. Don't let it get in my head. I love this stuff. I mean, literally what I've always dreamed of doing is superhero stuff, and I've been able to do it as a voice person thus far. So, I mean, I was just kind of over the moon about it. This was my first coach. So once they said, and you will be working with a dialect coach, Beth McGuire, wonderful, wonderful human. I was then I got nervous. Like, you know, I auditioned with this accent. I thought didn't you like it? I don't know. Oh,
You're never getting there, Fury.
So then,
sorry, guy.
Then working with Beth, I was like, okay, because obviously, yes, with the audition process, you bring what you have to give. You're in the moment. It's emotional. You're doing the things, and then yes,
we're definitely not getting Nick Fury.
Booth, then there's the technicality. So what Dave was saying, for instance, about like, oh, there's that one word in a line. So you've given your emotional performance. You're dialed in. You're the character. And then they're like, actually, that one word, can you?
I will not have Erica slander in my chat.
But you have to bring all of that emotion and all of that presence to the line. But remember,
right,
to say it this very specific way. So that was
Erica going to just 4 for 4,
but also fun.
Yeah. Did it get easier as it went on? Because I feel I totally understand what you're talking about. You're in the moment, you're delivering, and then cool, you got to get back to that place.
Yeah. It did get easier, thank goodness. I mean, it's sort of like also developing a rapport with Beth and having her sort of know how I work, knowing how she works, and so then eventually,
Nick Fury is not going to be playable.
I feel like I got the accent better, more consistently, so there were less corrections. And when that happens, then my nerves are able to be calm, because the more corrections you get, obviously, as a sensitive actor type, you're like, oh, okay, then I'm not doing any of it right. Am I doing, so once
bring me Doctor Strange
through like 5 lines, and
that's what I want.
Like, that was great. Oh, good.
Why would Nick Fury not be playable? Because no one wants to play him.
Then you can get into the flow, and you're not sort of in your head about what correction might be coming, or let me get this absolute, because you don't. In acting, it's not about getting anything perfect. It's about being in a moment.
Now, me as a playable character. Now you're talking.
Giving yourself to this character in the moment. So, but with an accent, there is a measure of perfection. So and I'm a bit of a perfectionist, unfortunately. So it's hard for me to get out of my head anyway.
It's a good thing that doesn't run in your family.
Oh yeah, it's a good thing.
Nick Fury is a good character. A bad fit for this game.
It's terrible.
Chris, asking Erica about expectations, was it the same for you? Like, obviously you've done so many big roles. You've taken, I mean, we talked earlier in the war table about you being Kratos, right? There's expectations to that. To step into Black Panther and be T'Challa, are there nerves at this point in your career for that kind of thing? Or you're just like ready to go and deliver?
Well, the thing for me was the negotiation process was quite long, and so the first thing I said was, I'm not going to do a voice match. It has to be whatever I bring to it, and whatever is honest and in the moment for me. I voice matched somebody like 20 years ago, and I felt dirty. I felt I'm not kidding. Not only
oh no, I believe it.
This man had a beautiful voice, but for whatever reason, they wanted to go someone who could do a voice like that, but cheaper. And I said, then, I quit that job. And I said, I'll never do that again. It's a disservice to me. It's a disservice to this other performer who is scratching and clawing to make his way. So going into it,
a man got integrity.
I said that's what it had to be. The second thing was, it can't be the Avengers come to Wakanda and save Wakanda. Can't be that. Otherwise, I can't do it. It had to be this wonderful story about Wakandans that the Avengers enter into. So that kind of was it for me. So, and it didn't take off the pressure of wanting people to like it, and people and for it to be great, for me to be able to match my esteemed castmates. But from that standpoint of trying to do something else to copy what someone else's brilliance, I did away with that right away.
For sure. And then Dave Fenoy from DaveFenoy.com. Of course, I still have my coffee mug, Dave. If you didn't know, you can go to DaveFenoy.com and get your own Dave Fenoy coffee mug. Dave's looking at me each and every day.
Chris is that guy.
Bravo. He's well trained, ladies and gentlemen.
I still know how to get the plugs in for Dave. Don't worry about it. For you, Dave, like, talk about like coming on this project and finding out about what you were doing, and then the cast surrounding you, right?
You know, it's funny because it's video games, and you
what are we,
don't
like hour two,
know,
hour
and for
one and a
so
half?
long, I had no idea. As Deborah mentioned, I didn't know what I was auditioning for.
It's a very long stream.
It was, as a matter of fact, the accent they wanted was kind of voodoo, African, Haiti, is what they asked for.
Bro, nobody care about Nick Fury whatsoever.
I liked the character description I really liked. So that's what I gave them. And then there was some kind of callback. There's some other lines and do this again. And this time, let's make it African. And I did.
I would rather be Phil Coulson
at that point, they were
than Nick Fury.
South African. And I
would rather be Matty Cho than Nick Fury.
You mean South African accent's different than the West African accent? Oh my. But I did a little research, did the audition, and they hired me anyway, because I don't think I had that accent down. I don't think I had it down. But I liked the character. And then when I discovered that this was Wakanda, this was Black Panther, I was ecstatic. I love the idea of
Quake was actually in the game files.
Something so groundbreaking.
We might get Quake.
The comic was fantastic. The movie was fantastic. And I think this new part of the game of the Avengers is fantastic. It's an awakening socially.
We found Nick Fury's biggest fan.
We are a part of that the comic book was, the movie was, and now this is.
Sure.
So being a part of that, it's beyond just being an actor. It's beyond just getting that payday for acting. It's soul satisfying, actually.
Sure. Yeah, I think that's one of the things that stood out to me when we were setting up this entire launch party, right? And talking about this segment in particular, Dave, is like, you know, I've been lucky enough to be your friend for what, a decade now or something like that. I've interviewed you at
long.
I know we're old, dude.
You knew me when
we're
this
so
was,
old.
This wasn't all white back then.
I remember those days. But it's the thing of, after doing so many panels with you, so many podcasts with you, so many different things, like, I don't think I've ever been on a panel with you where I was the minority. I don't think that, you know, I've ever interviewed you for a project where it was something that is this, where so many people were talking about the run up to this game, right? That like, man, I'm so excited for War for Wakanda. It feels like they're promoting it as if it's its own
Scale of
game.
1 to 10.
And in so many ways it is, right? Of you can buy, this isn't a plug, I swear. You can buy Avengers and jump right into it and play it. But the fact that we're talking about a game that is Black Panther centric. It is you guys centric. You are the main cast. Sandra's here strictly as a co-host, right? She's in the thing. You can play as her if you wanted to on your party, but this is a Black Panther game. You know what I mean? This is a Black video game.
This is so much a part of what's going on in the culture right now. I look at the number of cartoons and that had white actors playing black characters that are giving up those roles, and black people are being hired. Our stories are being told now in a way that they haven't been told before. If you look at historians, we are, some people knew all along, but the history of Africa did not start with the arrival of Europeans there to steal slaves. The history of Africa goes back thousands and thousands of years. We don't talk about the culture before Egypt, where Egypt got their culture from. The pyramids south of Egypt. And all, Mansu Musa, there's Nzinga, there's so many great
Panther.
stories of black Africans in Africa that have nothing to do with slavery. They're the same kinds of stories you might find from China, from Europe, from anywhere else in the world about empires building and dying and heroes and villains.
Right.
And
before Africa was called Africa, when it was called Kush.
Exactly. So
Deborah out here spitting.
For those of us who are black, who we don't always talk about that, we live in it. It's in our minds.
Where my kufi at?
All the time, but we don't always talk about. We show, hey, how you doing? Nice to meet you.
Where my kufi at?
But this is, as I said before, soul satisfying. This touches a part in us, satisfies a longing in us that some of us didn't even really understand how much we wanted.
That's nail on the head.
Dr. Umar Johnson.
I don't know how many of you, socially, I would assume when we were all recording, there was a lot of social unrest at the time. So when I go to record, I just couldn't. I couldn't because I was just so overcome by what we were in the middle of. And some days we would just talk about what was going on in the world, what was going on in America, what should be happening, and how this is affecting all of us. And I really, this being a part of this really kept me on a more even keel than I would have been had I not been doing this.
In terms of your performance or like your life?
In terms of me as a man.
Gotcha. Does that seep into the performance? Earlier, Hannah made a reference when we were talking to her that, there's a one of the collectibles you can find is a diary entry from you that made her cry and made everybody on the call cry. Like, is that stuff you're bringing in?
That, every character has you in it. You just got to find where it is. And sometimes it was so accessible because me as a man, I was so emotionally raw that it was hard to be in the right place for certain scenes because emotionally I was much more raw than those scenes called for. I was much more. So you learn to take that and use it and to be able to
Century,
use
shut
what
up.
I was feeling constructively.
Or Tyverse will kick you out.
Was a godsend, I'll tell you.
Deborah, did you find that for Okoye too? Like, obviously, Okoye I always think of as such a hard shell. Obviously, so much love behind that. Obviously, some fierce warrior behind that as well. But that's, I don't know. I feel like if me, an untalented person, was trying to perform it, I wouldn't be able to do it well. It would become one note to me, right? Even playing through what we've played through.
The
on the
update
streams, like the
is same time as the other updates, 11 a.m. Eastern.
Hearing the little barbs that you give T'Challa, like.
They already told us the villains for War for Wakanda are Claw and
around it.
I never make anything simple because
Crossbones.
it's not. Everything has a complexity, and every time you are using that space through your body and your mind and your heart, and then it comes out vocally, the voice is always last for me. because I'm always carrying and bringing and keeping with me every relationship. In fact, I don't call them relationships. I call them relationships, because I'm relating to the environment. I'm relating to every relationship. I'm relating
That
to
looks
the
like he's
past.
standing
I'm
behind
relating
Greg
to
right
the
now.
present. I'm relating to the hopes of the future. I'm relating to my intentions. I'm relating to the complexities of the relationships I keep, and all the emotion that goes with it. That goes, all right, now let's tie it all together. So it doesn't matter what everybody else knows. It only matters that I'm putting that together in this package. And at one point, when I was doing the very last thing for it, which was the narration for the promo,
yeah,
I needed a moment to just cry, because I was crying for the pain of my king.
I swear that statue definitely moved over
being a warrior
behind Greg.
and having that dedication, I could not break, but I needed to be able to surrender that grief for the grief that they're trying to hold on to and be solid and strong. And so it was a moment that will never, ever be seen by Okoye, most likely not in a film. Most likely, I'm not saying it's not
will
possible,
survive.
not in the
We will
movie,
defeat
but
Ka.
most likely not
In the
film,
name of white,
and
we will
most
defeat
likely
white
not in a
supremacy
video game. And so it was important
and bring
to
equity
make her flesh
to
and
the
blood
world
through me.
through
So I can
vibranium
have those
and
emotional
Wakanda's
moments, so I
vast
can go back to that
resources.
strength and have that also carried as a supplement in what I was doing. And so those things are very, very important to have that experience and have that relationship or relationship with, so that it comes out without it being overwhelming, while it's subtle, and it becomes something that's intimate for me, that I keep with me, that I share without you knowing I'm sharing it.
How do you people do this? Like, I don't know. It's like every one of you is crying in the booth and doing all this stuff and having these moments. And I'm like, I remember Dave showing me videos of him crying in the booth doing The Walking Dead. Like, why torture yourself like this, Erica? There's got to be other work you could find.
It's incredibly cathartic. As you know, as Chris was saying, it's one of those, like, if your feelings, it's a relief sometimes to go into the booth and to give those emotions to the character that you have. And it adds all this complexity, but it also heals you at the same time. So yes, there is other work you could be doing, but there is something incredibly
I don't care about Ant-Man in particular.
There's something about it for me where, you know, sometimes I'm really
He'd be
shy,
cool down the
sometimes
line.
I'm more of an observer, more of an introvert. But when I'm, in some ways, I can be more myself, in playing different characters.
Avengers about to fight the Proud Boys in the next expansion.
Stifle in my day-to-day interactions. So, you know.
I don't know. Dave. I don't know. I'll just keep talking about the video games rather than
T'Challa about to crash a MAGA rally.
Very important that I think all good actors, especially good voice actors, do is what's coming out of your mouth is the exhaust of everything else, of the acting vehicle. What are you thinking? What are you feeling? What are you doing? What's the relationship
You people.
with the person that you're talking
Greg
to?
about to
Even if you're
cancel
talking to
twice.
yourself. Where are you? What's your condition? All those things are what you play. And the words come out based on that. But you have to have all that
Somebody
other
on
stuff.
Twitch got him.
You know, if you are a word manipulator, if I say it like this, it'll that you don't find the depth and reality trying to make the words do a dance. You have to find that the honesty of your thoughts,
You people.
of your feeling, of your worldview, of your condition, of your relationships, and now you're into something.
And that's why they got hired, because they're voice actors. It's never phoned in. They're willing to sacrifice emotionally what they have to do to be a storyteller, the consummate storyteller.
The Black Panther behind Greg about to sneak up on him.
Everything to the table.
What do you mean, you people?
And they tell the story so that you are compelled to listen, to feel, to experience, to be a part of, to immerse yourself in. And that's the success of that game. And that's the success of what they do every single time. That's why these people right here in these squares were hired. And that's why they get hired. And that's why they're amazing.
I wouldn't mind Ant-Man at all. I just rather have Doctor Strange and Wanda.
Because they're invested in their craft. They're invested in that love. that passion, that power, that creativity, that willingness to be vulnerable and stitch it all back over again to allow that truth,
Deborah
that
spitting.
authenticity to come out vocally.
Deborah
That's
is
why these
spitting.
people got hired. These are my people. This is my family. You understand? Do you overstand me now?
You overstand.
Yes, ma'am.
It's not incredible at all. It's very credible. It's palpable.
Taking the
and
church.
It's powerful and it's extremely credible. That's why this is my family. That's why we work together, and that's what makes this grain fantastic.
Auntie Deborah, what's up? Auntie Deborah out
You know,
here.
that it's how do you follow that?
That's Auntie
That
Deborah.
is everything.
And the stream, I don't know.
You know, I used to get asked the question all the time about, so is it different acting in video games than
Deborah
it is
definitely invited to the cookout.
live action? And
Not you, Greg. You
I
can't
used to
come.
not know how to answer.
Greg can't come to the cookout.
The answer is there is no difference. The only difference is in how it's
Sandra could slide through though.
That's it. If you come with the same intensity and connection and emotional availability for what you're doing, then everything else is just capturing what you're. So it shouldn't matter.
Everyone invited to a cookout except Greg.
What form it's being captured in. And that so freed me up at just in everything, is that all I can do is approach material. First
Keep your
of all,
hands to yourself, Tyverso. I'm making her plate.
or that I have some connection to, and be honest. And then however it's being captured, that doesn't really affect me. You know, so there really isn't and
Greg said you people.
So much simpler, since the only way that I choose material now is if I have a connection to it, if it moves me in some way, you know, and that really, if it deserves.
Bring it on, Tyverso.
Your attention.
100% of me.
We will catch this fade over Sandra. No cap.
Because to me, then if I'm not giving 100%, then I'm really not doing anything. Why do it? You know, so.
I bet.
Wait, I have a question.
I bet Deborah makes some fire macaroni and cheese. No cap.
We're talking about, you know, Deborah auditioning and not knowing it was War for Wakanda, not knowing it was Avengers. Were you approached and they were saying, "Hey, we want you as Black Panther"? And then do you get it? Okay, so then like, what about this story?
Or for Sandra?
Wakanda. T'Challa. The relationships of these beautiful Black people. To be one of the gatekeepers of these characters. That's what we are. And once I stopped thinking about how it would be perceived,
they're
or
both
not
queens out
wanting
here.
to do something right after I'd done something else, and realized that I was going to be part of this group, but also we are part of a larger group. We are the gatekeepers.
You can tell Just Day has never touched a woman before.
1966. And that is a very humbling thought and an emotional connection to it, you know. And we get to interpret these characters,
no cap,
in the way that we want to, and honestly feel
100K Tyverso goes down.
Anything else that someone has done,
Tyverso gets folded, you know, on stream.
I just feel incredibly fortunate. I was going to say lucky, but I don't ever say that anymore, because this business wants you to believe that you are lucky. That you're lucky. Fuck that. Oh shit, sorry.
It's Twitch, it's YouTube. Do whatever you want.
You're lucky
it's a launch party.
You're lucky that you work so hard to get it.
Yeah, you know.
If Chris Judge wants to curse, damn it, let him curse.
I mean, circumstance and yes, but we have all worked our asses off for decades.
Yeah.
To be good at to be great at what we do. So I don't apologize for it anymore. This wasn't by happenstance that I get to share this screen with these wonderful people.
Infirm virgin.
This is the sum of decades of work, of decades of working at it. So no, I don't think
Black Panther taking his time.
Working.
And that's why nothing is
Black Panther like, yo, turn the cameras off.
And very powerfully.
Me and Greg about to catch this fade.
I think you all are very credible. Thank you so much for joining us today. I mean, Chris, Dave, Erica,
was this what you expected?
Yeah, no, I've worked with Erica. This is our first time meeting, but like, everybody else I've worked with or been around on a panel or something, I knew what I was getting into. They were like, "How much time?" And I'm like, "We could do the entire 3 hours with just them. Don't worry. As much as you want to give them, it's fine." Thank you all for obviously your amazing performances. We're all excited to play.
Yeah, we got a whole nother hour left.
What an honor. What all of you.
I was about to say the same thing. I'm so happy to be sharing screens with these great performers, great human beings.
Yes, and thank you to all the folks at Disney and Marvel, because Marvel isn't just
and Chris trying to outwork each other.
Inclusive universe.
Right.
It's an inclusive universe.
Miss Beth
It's
McGuire.
a boundary breaker since 1966. That's incredible. I'm sorry, that's extremely credible. That's ahead of time. Let's take these.
Always love black excellence. I'm all about it.
Their story isn't from slavery into something powerful, from depths of darkness into something powerful. From the very beginning, as Chris was saying in 1966, coming from a rich, powerful, intellectual, science, technology-driven foundation to be an equal playing field.
We was kings.
Of all the other Marvel superheroes.
Absolutely.
So thank you, Marvel, for the mindset and the progressive mindset from 1966.
Yes.
To now that we get a chance to wear and have that mantle. What a blessing, what a gift, what an honor, and what a joy.
Absolutely.
Here. Thank you all.
Let Deborah cook.
Again.
Let Deborah cook.
Oh wait, throw them up. Wakanda forever, everybody.
You know that.
I'll tell you what. I made a mistake. This should have been the final
screenshot
panel.
of that.
Here, everybody, put it back up. Hold for the screenshot.
Put your arms down, Greg. Wait, you ain't coming to the cookout.
So much. Have a great day. We'll see you tomorrow in Wakanda.
Thank you.
Take care.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're now going to switch over. We're going to do the harm room. We're going to bring in AJ. We're going to bring in Scott. We're going to talk about that. Sandra's going to turn her camera back on. Scott, AJ, feel free to turn your
What it do, my guy?
Oh my God.
It's a tough act to follow, Scott and AJ. I hope you got something. I hope you got tricks up your sleeve.
Yeah, I was watching that. We'll see.
Yo, Greg is it's over for Greg when he gets on Twitter, bro.
How's it going? Hi everyone again.
It is over for Greg.
I just want to acknowledge, as an actor, how incredible that talk was. I get a lot of questions from people in my DMs and stuff about how to get started, and the way to get started is by listening to talks like that. So incredibly or credibly moving. So thank you so much to the actors who were just happier. If you can hear me, thank you.
Ever made you cry 4 times?
Of course, if you ever want to get voice lessons, you can go to davefenoy.com and Dave Fenoy will sell you a mug and some classes. But I digress. Scott, AJ, welcome to the stream. How are you?
What's up, guys?
It's going to be a smooth week for Avengers.
Scott,
don't jinx it.
Yes. You, of course, work at Crystal Dynamics. You, of course, work on this game. You, of course, have had some involvement with this here Black Panther. What do you do?
So I'm a senior designer on the combat team. I've been working on Avengers since it started, pretty much. So pretty much anything that a player does on the sticks with the character.
This is the camera goes off. It's a wrap for Greg.
Making all of that stuff feel real good.
Okay. And then AJ, what about you?
I am a senior animator here at Crystal Dynamics and been working on Avengers same time, the entire time of its existence, and it's been a blast.
You ain't gonna do nothing Tyversal, but cry.
You see all the combos, all the movement, all of the bones that are moving on screen. Yes, we do all of that, and it is a lot of fun.
So, start with me, Scott. We're obviously running through a harm room here. We're using as I would call it, a jacked up Black Panther, right? He's you see it here, 141. We're out there. We're ready to
150.
You can jump into skills. We can see what's going on. Obviously, here we are at the end of what Black Panther is, right? All these things. For you, Scott, when you're going through and working on this, you're designing a character like that. How does that start? What happens?
So when we first get the character,
I got a Nerf 50 cal. What's up?
We look at comics a bunch.
I'm gonna have 50 cal
start going
turrets.
through those, figuring out what's iconic, what they use a lot, things that are repeated often, that really stand out and players or fans would identify with. You know, we look at every other media as well, movies, games, cartoons, you name it, just to find out, like, I mean, Marvel fans are, you know, there are fans of just the MCU, there are fans of just the comics. There are, you know, kids growing up that watch the cartoons, you know, or I mean, I watch the cartoons.
Look, so far.
Yeah, don't put that just on kids. Right? Don't put that
About kids, no.
But yeah, like, you know, people have different exposures and access to the Marvel stuff. So, like, there are fans from all walks, and it is a matter of making sure that we identify those iconic things and bring that to the screen. That way, when they play their favorite hero, they feel like it's actually that hero. So.
Hey, Kev, real quick, too, for tech at home, they were saying the game's a bit loud. Can we get this down? I mean, since we switched units, it might be a little bit louder. So you go through, you identify all the stuff you like from comics, from cartoons, from movies, whatever it's going to be.
Yo, the Black Panther keeps moving.
Is this a giant whiteboard? Like, I can't even begin to fathom how this goes into production, AJ. Like, where does that go? Where does that start?
I think you nailed it. Whiteboard or sticky notes on my computer. Since we work off site, I'm a huge fan of sticky notes, but we won't get into that. Yeah, I think
Greg about to get wrecked, like Ty Verso is at 100K.
No, I think we just look at all of that material, and then we kind of look at our hero design, to Scott's point, and we kind of see where things can slot in.
So they made a Valor build.
Where, yeah, it's very organic in that sense.
Yep, keep the Dora Milaje.
Light attacks and heavy attacks and sprints and so on and so forth. So you do start to kind of find, I guess, channels or places where these things can live. But it is, again, a very organic process, and I think it's a lot of fun. So.
Obviously, we're doing this harm room. We're doing.
Got my Nerf sniper rifle.
I want to call out how much I love.
I'm gonna get you from the next block.
Pop in on the ultimate now. Is that what is that? That's max level once you level it up all the way.
You don't have to get all the way max level to get that one. I think it's like level 15 to get that. Like once you get that specialization option. So if you want to get that right away, that's something that you can sort of spec into. We put some level gates on some things to try and help guide players on, like, hey, in the first 5-10 levels you should pick up these. In the first 15 levels, look at this stuff. And so that's basically where we set that up. So yeah, if you really like that one, you can. I think as soon as you hit 15, you can pick that one up.
Tomorrow morning, Son Goku.
And so then, what about Black Panther
Depending on your time zone,
most exciting for you guys? Obviously, you're at the end of a long journey here. I'm sure the work continues on other things. When you look at
8 a.m.
the final version,
Pacific Standard Time.
Again, pretty much final. This is a debug kit. Nobody knows what could happen to it. But when you see it in action, like, I mean, what stands out? AJ, what do you love about the character?
Oh man, that's a loaded question, Greg.
You do love the character, right? Like,
oh my God, I love Black Panther. I do, and I think it was just a privilege to bring him to life on screen. I mean, I actually wrote like a whole thing about this, but I'm just not going to read it because it's words. But it's like
I'm gonna definitely test out the Dora Milaje summon.
This is your launch party, sir. This is your launch party, sir. If you wrote a speech, we need to hear it.
Pump him up, Greg.
I'll try.
Well, I need to get Deborah back here.
Reversal, you can't aim if you're dead.
Oh my God, I know, she got me so hype. I loved it. No, I just said.
How many hours from now? Do the math yourself.
Black Panther. I mean,
You can Google that.
It's an honor. It's extremely exciting.
I don't know what time zone you're in.
We've heard it through the stream today. He has such a following. We just want to do that justice. We want to give the fans what they want, what they deserve. And I'm one of those people, to be very clear.
So he's got the bead set to explode.
Scott and myself, we put into this, and the team, because we care deeply about living that power fantasy as well. But yeah, we just want to create a hero that people love. Movement, combat, that makes you not just look, but feel. And I would put huge emphasis on that word, feel like Black Panther. I think it brings out some of the best work from
Definitely use some of his MCU moves.
Specifically. So yeah, I'm just extremely proud of him. I feel like I'm like a father right now. I didn't know how I was gonna feel when we did this, but it's like, it's like he's not my kid, so that's not it. But it's like this thing you curated.
You're putting this thing you made out into the world. I get it.
Yeah, and it's just so fun to watch you experience other people's reactions, and it's just a labor of love. And yeah,
you can tell in all aspects of this expansion. You can tell that it is totally created by people who love it.
100%. Now, Scott, one of the things we're talking
Hope this
about
doesn't break.
I'm
definitely excited to play this.
Is you talk about how good this feels and how much you needed to nail Black Panther and so on and so forth. How hard is that to make different characters, add them into a game with an established roster, but make them feel unique? I know even myself on podcasts leading up to it,
let him enjoy himself.
With Clint and Kate, I was like, oof, 2 Hawkeyes back to back. Are they going to feel different enough? And then we got them, and I do think they do feel different enough. I do appreciate playing them for different reasons. What do you do when you're like, all right, cool, we're going to bring in a Black Panther? And like, there was already a question, right? Like, one of the things immediately was like, does he play like Black Widow? Does he play like Cap? And it's like, as a Cap main, I'm like, no, but yes, but this, but that. Like, he feels unique. How do you find that balance and not have it all feel samey?
When we look at it, it's pretty much, you know, we have that list of what we need to have for a character. Like, they need to have specific things in order to just function sort of in our skeleton that we have for the game. But where we kind of go like, okay, well, what does the light combo do? What does it look like? I think that's where, you know, we look at the reference material. We have the animation team like really add that character on that layer. You know, like he is very acrobatic. He's very agile in his moves. There's lots of flips and lots of kicks in his attacks. Lots of strong hits. So it's a lot of that, and then just anytime we look at the function, it's how do we
worthy for Stormbreaker?
Put a spin on it that
nobody yet
within the character's moveset, and oftentimes that is looking at just what the moves are and like, well, this does this, and so you know, like the spinning claw. It's like we really wanted to have that savage sort of like claw mechanic for his combat. And so like we have that attack where he'll spiral up and do that, and he's got a lot of those. I think if you do like the sprint heavy, he's got another kind of like very agile, very, you know, multi-hit based attack that kind of sells that speed and power. So.
Also,
AJ,
just to add in, I do think.
Please.
Sorry, Greg.
No, I was going to drive it right back to you to get your.
I'm not sure Greg is a gamer. I think he's an entertainer.
It is the stunt actors or the mocap actors that we hire as well.
That plays games.
About that. We get some really talented individuals.
He's an entertainer in the gaming niche.
I forget what you refer to them as, Greg. What do you refer to them as? Ping pong? What'd you say?
Oh, the ping pong ball suits.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah. So when they get in those suits,
one day the technology is going to evolve beyond that, and I'm not going to. It's going to be a sad day for me to lose that.
I hope they still just put ping pong balls all over them just for the laughs.
Interesting.
But yeah, finding really high quality stunt actors who
Interesting.
embody the character. So
I think Black Panther's assault heroic scales to precision.
That you may know, or you don't know that you know, but you know their movements. You know things like that, and yeah, we reach out, we get them in the studio, and then we just give them a flurry of attacks and combos and motions to do, and that drives a lot of the character that you see, the specific things, like how he walks, how he carries his shoulders, how he there's just so many little intricacies, and the mocap data provides a lot of that. If you have a good actor, then it becomes a fun game of mocap versus keyframing, which is another thing. But you got to make stuff feel awesome, so it's a whole different battle. But that's where you get a lot of that initial foundation, I feel like, and it creates a lot of that uniqueness that you get.
You can play the DLC as soon as it is loaded on your platform.
Get a chance. Double tap R2.
Nice try. It's over.
No.
I'll start it up again though.
Yeah.
What do you what is
it? Voice so deep.
Stuff like that, because remember, I've never gotten to play with a main one, so I'm like, I think I'm doing well.
I heard you don't like to block.
Double tap R2
thing for Black Panther.
Yeah,
you haven't done that.
Yeah,
double tap R2.
You're gonna...
Sir, I've beaten the most challenging stuff in the game. All right, Omega threat level. Don't worry about it. All right.
No, I'm sure you got it.
Sure, Jan.
On your road to 150, you might want to block a bit. He has a lot of mechanics around blocking and parrying.
Okay.
So, but yeah, when your intrinsic meter is full, like if you double tap R2, he triggers that big kinetic AOE, and then he buffs his melee damage for a short while. And you can keep building that meter up, and so you can kind of keep looping that inside the combat, and you'll find that you deal even more damage.
How'd you like Scott play? Scott clearly knows what he's doing. Let Scott play.
Okay. But what else? Yeah, I mean, like when obviously we're moving so fast, and if people are gonna get their hands on it tomorrow, and you're gonna have a bunch of 150s even tomorrow. What what are you looking out for? I mean, when you look at the skill tree, when you think of the moveset, what stands out to you?
Definitely melee.
You know, I think players that are really going to get a good grasp on how Black Panther plays are the ones that really kind of keep up that buff and debuff sort of system. He, unlike a lot of our heroes, like, you know, we always give our heroes like some way to buff or debuff enemies, but he's really the first character that really leans into that. And so through his block mechanic, like that's one of the many buffs.
This game had PvP. I'll be at the top of the leaderboard. No cap.
The heroics do a bunch of other ones, and so I think seeing players like really grasp that loop and
150 level in one day
and sort of keep that rotation is going to be interesting to see.
I'll be one of those people
that far. The daggers, even the basic ranged attack.
Sure.
If you throw out a couple of those, it'll actually make the enemy take more melee damage. Just those itself apply a debuff for a couple of seconds. Yeah, so you'll see them stick in and it'll glow purple for the basic ones. And it stacks up to 3 times. There's some gear perks that increase that number. But just doing that like as you're running towards the enemy is a great way to sort of set them up for combo damage.
Ranged Black Panther confirmed.
What are the pro tips you got? AJ, what are your pro tips?
Probably intrinsic attacks or whatever. Scott, did I refer to those correctly? What do we actually call them?
Yep. We call them intrinsic attacks.
Okay. Probably those because they're multi-hits and I absolutely love them, and I think we pushed that with Panther more.
No, Lejeune go to the gym. I know like this game.
Ability to use the right trigger and trigger those attacks.
I don't believe in the gym.
I think it does a lot for him because he does them from the ground, he does them from the air.
You can't stack consumables.
Very visceral. It feels very
one at a time.
Good, which I love.
The good kind of chunky, exactly.
The good kind of chunky.
And that was something, you know, to your guys' credit, especially today and when I did the press preview, right? Like, I didn't have the right words for I think on the podcast, but that's actually a pretty good way of like, Black Panther feels good chunky. You know what I mean? Like he feels like he's got the muscle behind everything he's doing, and he looks it too.
When you hit people with those multi-hits, Greg, yeah, you're gonna get like this cadence of like, and I mean, you feel it, right? That's what we talk about with things being visceral. You could make him move and twist all day and spin all day, but it doesn't mean much if it doesn't feel like anything. So that's why I'm a big fan of those. I also love the pounce stuff. I think the pounce stuff is huge. It makes him feel like Black Panther, in my opinion, and it's just a lot of fun to see him just jumping on people and wrecking them.
Okay, now you want me to double tap R2 when I get a chance?
Yeah, wait until you get.
I was gonna get some guys.
Yeah.
Clear this way.
Yeah, leveling up is pretty easy in Avengers right now.
Yeah, and you'll see those intrinsic attacks when you do the ultimate heroic too. So normally that's one other way you can use your energy is to hold down R2 while you perform the attacks. But when you're in the ultimate state, you just get those for free, and they automatically get triggered.
Oh, that's true. I trigger his ultimate all the time, so that's probably why I'm just running around holding X, and I'm just slashing everything.
I like this bonus,
Oh yeah, I'm definitely abusing that ultimate.
He gets his energy clause during the overcharge state there.
How do you activate consumables? From the gear menu.
Okay, well, I have to relearn everything apparently. You guys
just look at the bottom. It'll give you an option to go do your consumables.
Taking him to 150. AJ, are you gonna help me?
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. Everybody, you know, I don't want to. I'm not naming names here or anything, Scott, but I want you to know that AJ plays with me and you don't play with me. So just putting that out there.
I play so much on our dev builds. I don't have any, unfortunately, 150s on retail, but I'm
kidding me?
trying to set some time aside.
Okay, well, AJ, I need you to coach him through it, all right? And we'll get him in there eventually with us.
We'll get Scott there. He needs to be there. It's okay.
All right, guys, it's time for you to sign off, believe it or not. I'm going to bring on Morgan Gray here in a second. But before you go, is there anything you want everybody to know for War for Wakanda coming out tomorrow?
Oh,
the deep sigh from AJ.
Because that's loaded, man. I mean, just
I know it is, man.
Have so much fun. We love Panther. We had so much fun creating him. Please,
he'd be good. No OT.
Assemble and just
yeah.
That's what this game is about. So just have a lot of fun, please. Yeah. We want to see it.
Yep.
People use range in the OT because it's easy. You can do melee as well.
A lot of really good work, and fans will be really happy with it.
I'm thrilled. I can't wait to play more. So thank you guys so much for all your hard work.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, AJ, I'll see you online this weekend.
Later.
All right. As he moves out, we're going to bring over Morgan Gray. Morgan Gray coming in here to close this out, Sandra. Can you believe it's been 2 hours and 40 minutes already?
Oh my God.
Yeah. Jesus Christ.
What's up,
Hey guys.
Morgan?
Hey Morgan.
How's it
feels like it
going, guys? I've been enjoying the stream so far. This has been
good. We're doing all right.
Morning. Yeah, it's been doing well. Like I was trying to do like a $5, $10 like put the donate button. I couldn't find it, so you know, I just.
It's okay. You don't need. How does that work? If you donate to Crystal Dynamics, does that just go back to you?
It's like I wouldn't say it's a mining town with mining script, but you know, there's similar. No, it's horrible. I shouldn't say that.
Is that David Cross?
Morgan Gray, we're bringing you on. But before we even get into it, what do you do here? Why are you here to close out this stream?
Tell us about it.
I submitted a raffle ticket, and so I am the I'm the lead game director on the Marvel game. So what that means sort of differs, I guess, depending on who you ask. But in general, I get to work with almost every single person on the whole team in a combination of creative collaboration,
That players be getting carried.
leadership,
Facts.
empowerment. I like to build some shields around people and let them do their thing, along with the project management aspects. It's sort of the, you know, when they have that line, you know, other duties as prescribed by management. That's kind of the big aspect of my job, sort of trying to help keep everything moving in the same direction from a creative standpoint to a operational standpoint, and getting to work with almost everyone in every studio around the world and making sure that that happens.
So no big deal, no pressure.
Lots of pressure, but also not a big deal.
So, this is the part of the stream that I've been talking about and all the lead up to it, right? Where I wanted to talk about where Marvel's Avengers has been this past year, obviously. Since
Honestly,
launch.
not really, James.
Talk about War for Wakanda and talk about what's coming.
The combat sounds cool, though.
We're running out of time, and I will then start with a patented Greg Miller long walk. Mr. Gray, are you aware of one Vanessa Carlton, the musician?
Yes.
Vanessa Carlton, of course, has the song 1,000 Miles. When I saw her most recently in SF, because I've seen her many times, when I saw her most recently in SF, she came out, ladies and gentlemen, Vanessa Carlton, she came out, she sat down, she pulled the microphone in, and she said, I find it best to get this out of the way in the beginning. And she went right into 1,000 Miles, right? I feel like we should just get it out of the way, Morgan Gray, because I've seen it all day long in the chat for 3+ hours. We'll start with the number one. What can you tell us about Spider-Man?
Of course.
We're working on him. I could say that we're working on him. He's cool. He was bit by a radioactive spider one time as a young child, and then found out
teenager,
that
sir.
Power came great responsibility. I think
The
those
chat
are all
is
things I
losing
can
it.
say.
That's all you can say, huh? Okay.
Working on him.
I mean, I could say more, but I kind of want to stay employed.
That's fine. No, and we're not trying. What I'm doing is I want you to give as much as you can give, so the chat understands what you
coming out at the end of the year.
Leave
it alone.
Greg Miller wants Spider-Man. Don't worry about that.
End of the year, guys.
Yeah, I will say we're definitely working on him, and a decent portion of the team every day is making sure that all their focus and intention is making our favorite wall crawler web slinger cool, and looking forward to seeing him play with the rest of our cast.
And then the next question that, again, I feel for you. You work on War for Wakanda for months, if not years. And then the people, the day before it comes out, they're like, what about more? What about roadmap?
Oh man, that one. So that I can honestly say that conversation goes well above my pay grade, and involves a lot of talk between our brand, Marvel, Square Enix, and so I can tell you that I can tell everyone that many of the things people are interested in, like we listen to the threads, we listen to all the threads, especially they're a great combination of positive feedback and some really well-earned critique. That a number of the things that people are interested on, we're paying attention and trying to make sure that we're tackling them in the order in which they were dialed is my favorite joke on the team. But I think others have to decide when we want to tip our cards and show what the next number of months forward look like. My dodge. Fortunately, it's not even my job to do the roadmap, so I don't have to feel so guilty. But I can say, a lot of us also want to get that roadmap out to the world because, one, we like people knowing what we're working on, but two, we read the threads. So there's a lot of us sometimes that are like, if I could just make an account and I could go and just
they're winding it down,
and that would be cool, right? And the answer is no.
And they were like, no, that'd be cool when you're in the unemployment line. Like,
see you at GDC.
So then let's go back now, right?
Okay.
Talk to me about the journey so far, right? It's been almost a year, I'm fibbing a bit, right? We still got a month to go, but almost a year since the launch of Marvel's Avengers. What has that been like, launching this game that you guys had worked so long on, but then had to go into a global pandemic with, and then continue it through a global pandemic, then figure out how you're going to do not only working across the globe as you were with studios already, now work from home. I mean, like, this is nightmare stuff for anybody, let alone a game that's going to be online all the time.
Yeah, I mean, for sure. I mean, I guess firstly, the thing that needs to be said, which is, you know, every every one of us allowed to continue to be gainfully employed while the world's hit with a pandemic and people are losing their livelihoods, some their minds, and sadly, too many of their lives. Like, we got no problems. I got to put that out. Like, this is all blessings. This is all like, good days for all of us because a lot of people have been impacted terribly. So I got to say that. Then onto the game creation thing. One of the harder things, I guess, is just the anyone who's done anything creative, even if it's just played a board game with friends, it's really awkward to try to sort of make music with people that you can't see. That aren't in the same room. So learning how to keep the creative energies going and collaborate when your only window to others is now a small screen and a camera, and maintain those relationships, let alone build new relationships. Because we've hired people during the pandemic. There's people that I'm close to now that they might as well be a pen pal because I've never met them in real life, but we've been up till 4 a.m. talking problem solving bugs or whatever, and now they're like family to me. It's been interesting. I think the thing that is, there's a lot that could be said about the inefficiencies and how difficult. The thing that no one was really factoring in is like it's the practicalities. I think of the experience of closing a game out and working on post-release content. People limited by their bandwidth. Like our game, in a development environment is humongous, gigs upon gigs upon gigs. When you have to pull that thing down over, what might be good for your YouTube or Twitch streaming is not the best when you're like n number of hours waiting to pull down something so you can quote unquote work that day. So these sort of like oddities, right? Like the hangups with people's intermittent power or with blackouts, or there's been like frosts in Texas. There's been world events. These things all make it more complicated. On the plus side, because we've always had a lot of international partners and studios, democratizing everyone from really being on the same level playing field. There's no in crowd. There's no, well, the people in the main office get to do blah, blah, and the rest of us get scraps. Like everyone got equalized. And that I think really helped build stronger relationships across the world. It allowed people to understand like better ways to communicate because you had to. And in many ways, I think we've become a better team because you can't just use inference and body language. You have to be more diligent, more specific, and really put the effort. And especially when there's a miscommunication, you have to do the big thing of like call someone up and be like, hey, I think you misunderstood me. So these things have been I think mixed blessings, but positive. Sadly, I think as everyone has noticed, the hard thing was all of our timetables and all our projections. Like, who knows anything? It's like it blew it all out the window. So it's made scheduling the like way problematic as we try to like learn something that for at least myself 20 years of game development. I'm like, wow, this is new. We've never had to do this before. Like,
so then, like, how much of a I don't know, gut check moment was it then to put out roadmaps that had dates on them again, to put out like to say that Black Panther's coming in August?
It was a big moment. I mean, there's a lot of people who keep the lights on and pay people salaries that wanted concessions and confirmation, and there's a lot of I think on us and the team being like, well, we think we can do X, but we can't be certain, and there's sort of the do you say nothing and be too cautious? Do you become brazen and be like, screw it, we can do whatever we say, just throw it out there, we'll make it happen, and then probably in the middle there's a bit of like best guesses using what metrics we can, and a little like, well, if we burn the boats, I guess we have no other option but to solve. It's kind of a mixture of all the above. But the real deciding factor, right? Because it's not like we're releasing retail product in these expansions we've been working on, right? We don't need a secure shelving space. There are logistics, but it really was like there are a lot of people playing our game really want to know what's coming down, where we're putting our priorities and what they can expect. And we need to give them some commitment. And if the worst thing that happens is we have to tell them we're making adjustments in part, if not whole, then so be it. That sort of came down. I mean, I was a big advocate on that side as well, which is like, don't want to tell anyone something and not follow through, but at the same token, like can't play it so safe that we say nothing because then we're not helping anyone. So ultimately we said like we think we had a pretty good understanding of what we could commit to and the order in which we could do it. So let's get that out there, and then let's all just drive as hard as we can to make sure we can fulfill that.
And I think, I can't speak to what your original plan was for stuff or content or how you wanted it all to come out, but like having it be as rough as it was in terms of getting delayed, the pandemic and everything else, I think really did a couple of things that was super interesting, where it was that I saw you guys learn from that, right? Like where it was, I put up a video on our YouTube channel, right? Like the day before your last big Square Enix presentation, where you put out the roadmap and you started a roadmap and started doing it. And I saw you guys since then really lean into, cool, we will over communicate. And we will tell you like, hey, yeah, I watch the dev streams and I see the stuff come up from the chat and they answer it like for real. And it's a lot of times like, that's a great idea. Or yeah, we're working on that, but there's no timetable. And I know for a lot of fans that can be frustrating because they love the game and they want to see it. But I think for so many other people, it's just nice to know they're heard. That's the biggest thing, being heard.
I didn't expect anyone would respond to fans.
Yeah.
But you guys have been really great about that.
The quote I always say is like, we may have whatever opinions we want to have about the game. They're irrelevant. People who spent their money, they get to say whatever they want, and and it's the most relevant, even if it's absurd. It's whatever they bought the game. You bought a megaphone. You can thank you so much. And both positive and negative, it's still like something we
Greg is definitely a happy to be there kind of guy.
Looking and reviewing and talking and thinking about. Just to make sure that
I like the energy.
we feel like we're in line with what people want. Now, clearly, we can't just do everything anyone wants at a drop of the dime.
No roadmap today.
A cohesive strategy.
Be on the lookout on Friday.
I think no way, not making excuses, but I don't think people always understand the lead times on creating things and the number of trains moving at the same time. But in general, like you feel, I think across all of the leadership, like 100% beholden to making sure that we give the fans, the things that they think are important and something cohesive in doing that. So it's not just this random buffet, but it takes all the input and goes through. And we're we've been very excited with the reactions we've been getting as we've been trying to fulfill that roadmap.
Sure.
For the things that we were hoping would hit well, it did, and where we had goofs, we're like, okay, well, we'll learn from that. But Cap gives us the quote, I could do this, I can do this all day. Like we just every day. Some days we say it's enthusiastic. I can do this all day. Other days it's like, I could do this.
I guess I have to do this all day. My livelihood depends on it.
But it's a treat, right? Like grew up in comics. My first job ever as a kid was in a comic shop. So like playing with the legacies of these luminaries. Who creators and everyone that's contributed with it. Like we're both we're creators of the game, but we're fans ourselves, and so. It's a great privilege to be able to play in the Marvel Sandbox for sure.
So of course this is the War for Wakanda launch party that comes out tomorrow. You already know that. You heard of this? Yeah, Black Panther.
Oh yeah. I'm familiar. I'm familiar with it.
One of the questions I had, but actually was asked over on the subreddit thread I put up, comes from Joker Faces #2. Says, "Hey Greg, I'd love to know their thought process behind doing Black Panther and Wakanda as the game's first big expansion. Was it more about wanting to add Black Panther as a playable hero, or more about wanting to let players explore Wakanda, or a bit of both?" We talked to Hannah, which seems like days ago at this point of this stream because we've been going so long and having a great time. But, she talked about that outline and you guys knowing you wanted to get there. How did you decide on Black Panther? How did you decide on Wakanda? How did you decide on this being bigger than what we've seen with Kate and Clint?
Sure. Well, like one of the cool things when you talk about like the Marvel universe, and people sort of they focus in on heroes, they focus in on certain villains, sometimes they focus on locations, but the cool thing is it's generally all the above, right? It's like a package deal. You get every hero has some nemesises that you probably like. There's generally there's locations that you associate with them. And they're fun. And we knew we wanted to have a canvas that freshened things up from where the game had taken place before, whether it was like, in the locales with all the AIM stuff, moving away from the, some of the AIM factions. And, there's so many places we could go, but that was one of the big, like where could we go where we could get a more of a background
Gear
setting,
2.0,
some great affordance for
Gear 2.0,
and a cool hero. And, Wakanda
cosmetic vendor.
Start the list.
Cosmetic vendor.
That, like, Black Panther, kind of since Civil War, was a huge, impression on all the MCU movies, right? So the the late and fantastically great Chadwick did an amazing job portraying him on the big screen, and building a huge number of fans. Like like many comic nerds, like I grew up with Black Panther as one of my superpowers being having a lot of superior melanin. I really saw myself, and it's one of my great superpowers. I enjoy it, but I liked Wakanda. I like the unconquered super science nation. I like the legacy, and I like.
Did he say superior melanin?
As well as the technology. And I think for many on the team,
that
canvas that Wakanda was able to bridge from the hard cold science of AIM to the high technology.
He says he has superior melanin
with an aspect of their cultural values as well as the mysticism.
I don't want to
like a great location. T'Challa's a hero is fantastic from a playable standpoint. Having that super agile brawler was a good mechanical inclusion,
ain't no way.
Moving beyond the archers and moving beyond the flyers. Like T'Challa's just fun to play. And then I don't want to. Probably things have been spoiled, but the villains when you
Morgan
think
supremacist
for the ride is also exciting. Big personality.
And his last name to White.
Bring in some bad guys that can have their teeth.
Morgan White.
The history of Wakanda itself, but T'Challa personally. That the player
Morgan is definitely not invited to the cookout. Him and Greg are definitely not going to the cookout.
The place to go. And also, it was again we like when the Avengers at the top.
All y'all canceled.
The most interesting story to tell. So the Avengers coming in, a slight.
Man said he has superior melanin. Ain't that a get out of here?
Seek the help of T'Challa and Wakanda was also a fun canvas for us to play with their development. And then it's fine. I could ooze all day. The interplay between the characters, each of the conversations and sort of where the story goes. It's just
that man said
it's some of the best. It's some of the best I think experiences that the game has offered to date. It's probably some of the best writing and delivery that
man
I've
forehead
seen
is shining.
I mean, there was an exchange you guys played earlier. I won't spoil it, but there's some wisdom about being the other that comes to play. That when I first heard it in game in its final voice acted form, and you did a fantastic job through our.
There about to be some compilations on Twitter.
I got misty.
We're about to have some Greg
I'm not
and Morgan compilations after this.
Man, but generally, 11 a.m. on a Tuesday at work, I don't find times to get like a little misty-eyed about how games can deliver some heart. But some heart came through.
Hold up, I gotta get the Hotep Kufi memes ready.
Make this
it's
a great choice for us because they're a great canvas.
Get those Hotep Kufi memes ready.
Left the plot line.
Yeah, bouncing off of that, I mean, at this point, we all know the Avengers really well, and
I'm gonna have to rewind this part of the stream.
And of course, what the voice actors bring.
This man says superior melanin. What?
These wonderful new characters, and we all know how royal T'Challa is. So all of these conversations,
memes will be in the Discord.
Yes, like the new dynamics are so great. I'm starting to remember my exchanges with T'Challa, and you're right, they are pretty striking.
Morgan got that version of War for Wakanda with 3 Ks.
That when I get it tomorrow, of course. Don't worry about it, everybody. You can play it too. 8 a.m. Cancel school. Cancel school. Cancel work. Just stay home and play. That's how it's gonna be. So, Morgan, are you ready for the lightning round?
Yeah, let's do it.
You're running out of time over here. I know you got things to do.
Man.
So
talk fast.
Ready for a thing. So I have quick questions.
We got 2 cancellations today.
Right? So throwaway over on the subreddit said, are the new enemies exclusive to the Wakanda region and will only appear in missions within Wakanda?
Currently.
Okay. And we saw it because there's also then the corrupted event's going to be kicking off too, right? The corrupted I've been talking for 3 hours and I'm just blanking.
Corrupted vibranium.
Vibranium. Thank you so much. I was hung up on animatium. I'm like, that's not what we're talking about.
This man.
That's popping up all over the place, right? That's
that is yes. Yeah, the things discovered there.
They both canceled.
Since our Avengers.
I've also got the memes popping right now
to Africa.
Jumpman23 wrote a question, and I was like, when he wrote it, I was like, I'm not going to use this question. Then you Sneaky developers over there the other day put out a little pimp for, hey, guess what? On the 17th, you can get a new Captain America skin from Avengers.
I gotta rewind this
from the Avengers movie or whatever. And I was like, that's interesting.
I can't believe this man said that.
Greg, can you ask him if they'll be releasing Black Panther inspired MCU skins? Now, before you freak out and say no comment, I don't know, it's above my pay grade, yada, yada, yada. Everybody calm down. Everybody calm down.
My question would be
the question would be like, I personally, we can take it to the Captain America skin coming out tomorrow. I thought the MCU stuff was just going to be Endgame and you'd be done with it. It seems like there might be more history or at least possibility.
He definitely did.
Is that fair?
I think, how to definitely do. I think,
and Greg did the Wakanda Forever.
The demand and reaction to the MCU skins that we put out clearly indicates where we should be putting our focus for the future.
Okay.
I can say that.
That's a fair way to say you don't know for sure and you can't confirm or deny.
Morgan said superior melanin.
Making popular things. I hear you. It's fine with me.
I think they're cool. Yeah, I think
This is one that's
also Black Panther's got some crazy cool skins that I like.
Dude, like I was talking about
definitely
before,
watching a replay
when I was in the press thing and I got to actually see some of the marketplace, and I was like, oh my gosh, these look amazing. You sneaky devs, turn it off, get ready for tomorrow.
Hey, yo, who they hire, bro? Did they do a background check?
And then, to end it, I'll give you my final.
They got clan members up on the stream, bro.
We talked
What's
about
happening
this
here?
We've talked about the
man talking about he got superior melanin.
Folks,
the fuck?
Before on panels and whatever about pre-launch and betas and all that jazz. Now we're talking about War for Wakanda. Everybody gets to experience it tomorrow. But the question does become, in a general sense, obviously.
This man Morgan definitely look like every school shooter.
Like, what have you guys learned in this year? What is in War for Wakanda, and what do you see capitalization happening from there?
Sure. So I think we definitely lessons learned, and people can infer from that where we're going. Sure. Like enemy factions that offer more new things.
Keep it real.
To ply your heroes against.
How many women do you think Morgan
but I imagine what people
has stoned in the back of a van?
Factions with their own backstories and looks and abilities. I think that is something we brought to Wakanda, and it's exciting.
Keep it a buck.
Could go. Bosses, villains. Every hero needs villains. So villains that require
over under
tactics and thoughts to fight.
Over under 2 abductions.
Boss release.
I'm going with 5 abductions.
See it in the boss fights as they play in both the campaign. I got my cat here.
I was gonna say your Black Panther is joining.
At least 5 abductions.
Black Panther is here.
And he has a cat. No, 50 abductions. He got a cat. 50 abductions.
For more like hardcore high-end multiplayer content, making sure we're bringing those villains.
This man got that windowless van.
Having them resonate on the tactics, on the sticks is something that's important to us. Keeping our eyes at the various entry points. So like clearly, we have players that are like at end game level, not the movie, but in their journey on most of their heroes, and they're looking for high-end content. We have people who are coming in fresh because they're interested, and everything in between. So focusing on content that attacks. What
I bet Morgan's ready for the race war.
Whether it's a new hero or high-end hero is something that's important to us, because now we're maintaining
that man's plotting.
And I think the focus on the sort of reward side, the gear.
Due to the length of his beard, you can infer 34 abductions.
Getting as you progress, and how that applies to.
Man look like the villain from Alvin and Chipmunks. Bro, I called him David Cross at the top of the. That's David Cross. I called it at the top of the stream.
And in all things, like I said, people want the full Marvel experience. So looking at the heroes, the villains, the enemies, and the locations that ooze the universe, and continuing to push ourselves to tell stories that fill of the universe, but add to it as well.
Right on.
Hell yeah, that
cool.
sounds good. That sounds exactly what I want out of this. Morgan, congratulations on a year. Congratulations on War for Wakanda tomorrow, and congratulations on the future.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys so much. I definitely appreciate the time, and I look forward to the unleashing of the Wakandas and everyone's ability to play and let us know what they think. It should be fun.
Dude, I'm so stoked for streams tomorrow and videos on YouTube of just 4 Black Panthers tearing people apart.
It's gonna be a thing.
Exactly. It's going to be a huge thing because, ladies and gentlemen, tomorrow, War for Wakanda launches for Marvel's Avengers. Remember, of course, it is free if you own the game alongside the Clint DLC, the Kate DLC, the Omega threat level. I could go on like this for everything Marvel's Avengers has added over the past year.
Tell me that's not David Cross.
War for Wakanda, the Black Panther storyline. And believe it or not, Sandra, that has been more than 3 hours talking about Black Panther. Can you believe it?
I can believe it. I had fun. Did you?
I had a great time. Kidding me? Yeah, I had a great time. Oh my gosh!
Did you
Anytime
have
you
fun,
get to see Dave.
Oh yeah, I loved watching it. I'm willing to say like Sandra forever should be a new entire show.
Look out here, bro.
You guys assembled even, as it were.
I'm down to do an Avengers show with Sandra anytime. Don't worry about
it. Of course, you'll come back.
Yeah. All right. Well,
this man be murdering chipmunks.
That's it. That's your time. Again,
that's it.
I'll tell you right now.
Have a wonderful time playing tomorrow.
Have a great time. War for Wakanda out tomorrow, 8 a.m. ish Pacific time across all sorts of platforms. You can get it there.
What's up, Omar?
Marvel's Avengers. Of course, wherever you're watching this, whether it be twitch.tv/Crystal Dynamics, whether it be twitch.tv/Square Enix, whether it be the YouTube channel for Play Avengers, like, subscribe, share. So, of course, you don't miss any of the future updates, war tables, hopefully other launch parties if they'll have us back, and all sorts of stuff. But no matter what, until next time.
That's the superior melanin.
Yeah.
Bro, ain't no way. I got definitely watch that over. That's literally him. He's literally David Cross. Man, it's literally David Cross. They're gonna let me watch this joint again. I gotta rewind that part. Man says superior melanin. But they're doing this on YouTube, right?
Had to do this.
Yeah, caught in 4K, my guy.
So then, like, how much of a gut check moment was it then to put out roadmaps that had dates on them again, to put out, like, to say that Black Panther's coming in August?
It was a big moment. I mean, there's a lot of people.
We about to catch him in 4K.
Keep the lights on and pay people salaries that wanted concessions and confirmation. And there's a lot of I think on us in the team being like, well, we think we can do X, but we can't be certain. And there's sort of do you say nothing and be too cautious? Do you become brazen and be like,
is Morgan not black? Not black enough.
There, we'll make it happen. And then probably in the middle, there's a bit of like, best guesses using what metrics we can, and a little like, well, if we burn the boats, I guess we have no other option but to solve. It's kind of a mixture of all the above. But the real deciding factor, right? Because it's not like we're releasing retail product in these expansions we've been working on, right? We don't need a secure shelving space. There are logistics, but it really was like there are a lot of people playing our game really want to know what's coming.
If he's not black,
we're putting our priorities.
We're getting the pitchforks going,
and we need to give them some commitment. And if the worst thing that happens is we have to,
what are my thoughts on this Black Panther's mobility? Looks great.
Then so be it. That sort of came down. I mean, I was a big advocate on that side as well, which is like, don't want to tell anyone something and not follow through, but at the same token, like, can't play it so safe that we say nothing, because then we're not helping anyone. So ultimately we said, like, we think we had a pretty good understanding of what we could commit to and the order in which we could do it. So let's get that out there, and then let's all just drive as hard as we can to make sure.
Or doing a reverse Michael Jackson.
And I think I can't speak to what your original plan was for stuff, for content, or how you wanted it all to come out, but like, having it be as rough as it was in terms of getting delayed, the pandemic and everything else, I think really did a couple of things that was super interesting, where it was that I saw you guys learn from that, right? Like, where it was, I put up a video on our YouTube channel, right? Like the day before your last big Square Enix presentation, where you put out the roadmap and you started a roadmap and started doing it. And I saw you guys since then really lean into, we will over communicate. And we will tell you, like, hey, yeah, I watch the dev streams and I see the stuff come up from the chat and they answer it like for real. And it's a lot of times like, that's a great idea. Or yeah, we're working on that, but there's no timetable. And I know for a lot of fans that can be frustrating because they love the game and they want to see it. But I think for so many other people, it's just nice to know they're heard. That's the biggest thing.
Absolutely. I didn't expect anyone would respond to fans.
Yeah.
But you guys have been really great about that.
I mean, the quote I always say is like, we may have whatever opinions we want to have about the game. They're irrelevant. People who spent their money, they get to say whatever they want, and and it's the most relevant. Even if it's absurd, it's whatever. They bought the game. You bought a megaphone. You can thank you so much. And and both positive and negative, it's still like something we spend a lot of time looking
Black
at.
Panther's getting an MCU skin.
Thinking about. Just to make sure that we feel like we're in line with what people want.
They just didn't show it today.
Just do everything anyone wants at a drop of the dime. We have to sort of put it in a cohesive strategy, because like there's a lot of practicalities. I think no way, not making excuses, but I don't think people always understand the lead times on creating things and the number of trains moving at the same time. But in general, like you feel, I think across all of the leadership, like 100%.
There should be an emote, Will.
To making sure that we give the fans, the things that they think are important, and something cohesive in doing that. So it's not just this random buffet, but it takes all the input and goes through. And we're we've been very excited with the reactions we've been getting as we've been trying to fulfill that roadmap.
Sure. No news on Gear 2.0.
Hit well, it did, and where we had goofs, we're like, okay, well, we'll learn from that. But Cap gives us the quote, I could do this, I can do this all day. Like we just every day. Some days we say it's enthusiastic.
We said a lot about the roadmaps, mostly about how they're not going to tell us.
I guess I have to do this all day. My livelihood depends on
until later.
But it's a treat, right? Like grew up in comics. My first.
That's what we're trying to figure out. What does superior melanin mean?
Like, playing with the legacies of these luminaries, who creators and everyone that's contributed with it. Like we're both we're creators of the game, but we're fans ourselves, and so. It's a great privilege to be able to play in the Marvel Sandbox for sure.
So of course this is the War for Wakanda launch party that comes out tomorrow. You already know that. You heard of this? Yeah, Black Panther.
Oh yeah. I'm familiar.
Chipmunks all day.
One of the questions I had, but actually was asked over on the subreddit thread I put up, comes from Joker Faces number 2. Says, "Hey Greg, I'd love to know their thought process behind doing Black Panther and Wakanda as the game's first big expansion. Was it more about wanting to add Black Panther as a playable hero, or more about wanting to let players explore Wakanda, or a bit of both?" We talked to Hannah, which seems like days ago at this point of this stream because we've been going so long, having a great time. But she talked about that outline and you guys knowing you wanted to get there. How did you decide on Black Panther? How did you decide on Wakanda? How did you decide on this being bigger than what we've seen with Kate and Clint?
Sure. Well, like one of the cool things when you talk about like the Marvel universe, and people sort of they focus in on heroes, they focus in on certain villains, sometimes they focus on locations, but the cool thing is it's generally all the above, right? It's like a package deal. You get every hero has some nemesises that you probably like. There's generally there's locations that you associate with them. And they're fun. And we knew we wanted to have a canvas that freshened things up from where the game had taken place before, whether it was like, in the locales with all the AIM stuff, moving away from the, some of the AIM factions. And, there's so many places we could go, but that was one of the big, like where could we go where we could get a more of a background setting, get some great affordance for enemies and a villain and a cool hero. And, Wakanda quickly came to the start of the list. It doesn't hurt the fact that like Black Panther kind of since Civil War was a huge impression on all the MCU movies, right? So the late and fantastically great Chadwick did an amazing job portraying him on the big screen and building a huge number of fans. Like like many comic nerds, like I grew up with Black Panther as one of my superpowers being having a lot of superior melanin. I really saw myself. and it's one of my great superpowers. I enjoy it. But I liked Wakanda. I like the unconquered super science nation. I like the legacy, and I like the combination of the mysticism as well as the technology.
Superior melanin. Who is Greg, bro? Hold up. Let me look this dude up, bro. Is he supposed to be black? He's either a black supremacist or a white supremacist. Hold up. Who is this? Bro. Is he black? Or why does he look completely different in this picture? I think he's supposed to be black. But these are two different people. These are two different people. What the what? How did he get whiter as he got older? There he is. Yeah. Yo, hold up. Is he black? Like, technically, Louis C.K. is half Mexican. He's gray. He's not black. He's gray. Yo, I don't. Yo, what's the verdict? Is he a black supremacist or a white supremacist? I'm so confused. I'm so confused. We're going to get to the bottom of this. Okay. You say brown? What's the verdict, chat? Is he dark enough to say superior melanin? What? Canceled or no? Black supremacist, so you feel better? Superior melanin, what? Bro, he did not just say superior melanin on a Marvel's Avengers stream. My God. The guy still, yes, that, he looks just like David Cross. No, we get into the bottom of this one. Oh, I don't know. I don't know about that one. I don't know about this one. This don't look like superior melanin. I don't know about this. I don't know about that one. That man a little bright. That man a little bright to be talking about superior melanin. This is a tricky one. The chat is divided. The chat is divided. Hold up. Let's get Deborah. Let's get Deborah in here. Where's she at? Deborah's out here spitting.
You know, West African accent, Nigerian, I can get that. and the general accent that's kind of light, which has an African lilt, but not over the top like Nigerian. I was like, I'm good with that. And so I had no idea what the project was. And believe it or not, it wasn't until I got to a callback of it that it started to come to fruition to what it was. And at that point, I'm still immersed in doing that accent, in finding that space, in becoming that energy.
I don't know, chat.
That it wasn't about whether I got it or not. I was too focused on, can I be in this space
Is Greg invited to the cookout or not?
And feel good about what I'm holding. Feel good about what I'm holding. And so they are going to have their own feelings.
Greg is gone.
But can I feel good about what I'm holding so that whether I book this or not,
Is
can I say,
Morgan is up in the air.
Booking and a job are two different things. When I'm in the booth, I did the job. I'm doing the job. I don't look back.
Is Morgan getting the cookout invitation?
I know I did my job. So at that point, for me, it was also a matter of immersing myself in that moment,
I don't know.
staying in that moment.
Morgan looked like he about to bring some bland potato salad.
Shoulders off, play. You did the job.
No seasoning.
And so when I booked it, it was like, wow, great. So it wasn't over the top because I had no expectation. I dropped the expectation so I can focus on the job.
Excellent.
That's our real job, is to audition. Once we've been hired, we're having fun.
Superior melanin. No, we gotta get the meme going. Tyversal gonna have the memes. So join for access to the Discord. Follow me on Twitter. It's about to go down. Morgan definitely put some raisins in his potato salad. Facts, bro. Facts. Morgan can get a plate, but he can't stay. That's fair. That's fair. Yeah. Greg is just straight up banned from the cookout. Auntie Deborah is hosting. Chris Judge is probably going to sing something for us. Morgan can get a plate, but he can't stick around. He gotta go. And nobody gonna touch his potato salad. All right, let me get out of here. I got to get some sleep for tomorrow. I'm be up here all day playing Black Panther. As soon as that download is done, I'm out here. All right, guys, thank you for stopping by the stream. I appreciate all you guys. I'll see you tomorrow. I'm going to hopefully be streaming about noon, getting this Black Panther story mission in. And I'm going to try to finish the whole story and level up Black Panther. See how fast it takes to get him maxed out. And best believe we'll be dripping them out for sure. Subscribe to the channel. If we hit 4K, some of you guys are going to get some money that you can use to buy that some Black Panther skins, that Captain America skin, whatever you want. All right, I'll see you guys tomorrow.